Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. It's Friday. Are we excited or what? Yes, finally. And I have announced it officially. I am taking a 3-day weekend. Oh, yes, but why, Austin? Why? What would we do without you on Monday? Yes, you'll just have to figure something else. Sorry. I'm going to take a 3-day weekend. Why? Well, the reason is sitting right here in the room with me. My smoking hot, redheaded libertarian wife, Stephanie Peterson, joining us here.
Oh, it's our anniversary weekend.
Yes.
Not the Wake Up America show anniversary weekend, but our marriage anniversary weekend.
No, we just passed the 1-year anniversary of the Wake Up America show.
That's right.
And it is our 2-year anniversary of our nuptials. So,
Aww,
yes, we're going to...
So cute. Yeah, I was so surprised yesterday when you told me you were taking off Monday, because I told you a few weeks ago that I was like, you know what, I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to come hang out with you in the studio. Even if I'm not on set, I just want to be with you. And then I got a massage scheduled with you, a couples massage. And then when you told me yesterday you're taking the whole day off, I'm like, he really loves me.
I really do, yes. And wait until you see your gift. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you come back and join us every Monday through Friday. Fridays are a little bit different. We try to have a little bit more fun, even though there's a lot of nasty stuff happening in the world, which we will address at the top of the show. But click like and subscribe to the channel and come back and join us every Monday through Friday, typically from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, except for this coming Monday. We'll be taking it off. All right. Let's get to the news. President Joe Biden commits more U.S. taxpayer dollars to Israel-Hamas's conflict in the Middle East, as well as to Ukraine, tying these two conflicts together and suggesting America is the most powerful nation in the history of the world, and we can afford it. Janet Yellen, his Treasury Secretary, agrees, but what do you think about that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can text the show anytime, night or day, at 573-319-1586. The text lines are always open at 573-319-1586. We're going to talk about that, and we'll talk a little bit about how Steffi has really been kind of shocked by the anti-Semitism online.
I just didn't know it was that bad.
You don't pay that close of attention. You were always also kind of shocked at some of what you've learned about me and my history with it.
Yes,
before I ever met you.
I understand more about the troubles you've had in the past.
Yes, yeah. It's interesting because like people are trying to accuse me of taking a pro-Israel stance because of my Jewish wife. They're like, oh, well, Steffi, your Jewish wife won't sleep with you if you don't support Israel?
That's the funniest thing is that I barely talk about this topic with you. I think the last time we really talked about it was last week on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think about it that much.
She doesn't.
So there's no pressure from me.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
And I think I actually love Muslim people more than you do.
A lot more, yeah. It's not so much Muslim people as it is the cult of Islam that I really have a problem with. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then we'll move on to the more fun stuff. So starting at by 7:30 this morning, we're going to get off of the Middle East topic.
Yay.
We're going to get away from all the rage, the rancor, the hatred, the anti-Semitism, the Islamophobia. We're going to get away from that, and we're going to start talking about the fun stuff. At 7:30 a.m., I'm really excited. Victoria's Secret is bringing sexy back.
Yes. I mean, I'm kind of excited too.
Because you know what, I'm gonna tell a secret.
Huh.
I see Steffi looking sometimes at the Victoria's Secret stuff, and she's like, "Ew."
Oh yeah, I remember commenting to you. I showed you recently. One of the ads that I saw.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's like women. They like to look at other pretty women, just as men like to look at pretty women.
Right. Yeah, we were just talking about this. Oh, hey, we've already got to say thank you to Quest Fanning for dropping $10 in the tip jar. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Quest. So early in the morning.
It was an anniversary gift.
Oh,
thank you. Appreciate
so that.
We
can go to dinner or something.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, we can. So we'll talk about Victoria's Secret models. Apparently, the sales are not so good.
Right. Money talks.
Money talks and bullshit walks. We'll talk about that at 7:30 a.m. this morning. And I'm always, during the week, I'm looking for stories that would be good for Steffi for Friday.
He knows what I like.
So when I saw this story, I thought to myself, perfect Friday fodder for us to lighten it up. 10 foods that need to be refrigerated.
I was feeling very triggered by some of these. I gasped as I was reading them.
10 foods that need to be refrigerated because we did have, don't give it away, but we
No.
did have one of these food items which we realized needed to be refrigerated, and it had been left out for a couple of years. And we're like, is this still good? So
Yep.
we'll talk about that in the other show. Oh, also, I forgot disaster preppers.
I love prepping.
You're a big disaster prepper, right, Steph?
I used to be.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you all the things I used to buy.
Yes. So apparently, disaster prepping making a comeback, and despite considering we might be in end times, probably a good
I
time to
thought we
hit
were
that
in end
topic.
times back in 2012. I don't know what you're
You
talking
got your
about.
Ron Paul gold and all that. Yes,
Yes,
good.
I was ready way back then.
Well, now
You
this
all are late to the show.
now it might actually be the end times, and so therefore, this Wall Street Journal article probably it's a good time for us to read it. So we'll talk about disaster preppers as well today. At 8 o'clock this morning, friendship is a currency. Speaking of currency, gold.
Oh.
Generation Z is going broke. Generation Z, they don't have friends. It's kind of not friendship.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that with the rise of the internet and such. I mean, I can talk about my own friendships. This will be interesting for sure.
Yeah. But more and more young people are not socializing in person; they're socializing online, and so
Right.
they find that they have a dearth of friends whenever you actually need them. Because hey, listen, without friends, where would we be? Where would this show be if we didn't have friends?
Online,
Yeah.
especially like without online friends, I probably wouldn't have found you.
But right, here's the thing: the people who have become like the biggest supporters of this show, we've met them.
In person, yes, but we
Right.
met them online
We met them
first.
online, but we
Most of
actually
them.
right. But I think the problem is with a lot of young people is that they don't translate the online friendships into real life friendships.
That's how I used to be. Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you all about all my online friends.
All right. Well, we know that you're an online friend of ours, and we'd love to make make a friend with you in person, perhaps at some point in the future. But if you are a friend of the show, do us a favor and click that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we'd love to hear from you and come back and join us every Monday through Friday here on the show. Again, except for this Monday. Studio 314 says he's taking a mental health day so he can get mental. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at Monday as, is my mental health day. Mm-hmm.
We've just been so exhausted mentally.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, all this stuff that's been going on. So, but Monday will be a nice day off for us. Let's see. One listener texted in, says women don't dress up or do makeup or buy for us men. Victoria's Secret. They do it for clout and from approval from other women. Men only want heels at most.
Red pilled, my friend, and I love you.
That's the Whiteout Termite and Pest Control that texted in that. Okay, so hilarious.
What?
It's a local. It's a local.
It's a local termite company.
No. I don't know. Where's it? I don't know. Let's see where they're at. Anyway, I don't want to dox them. So.
Oh my gosh, I've been hearing more and more red-pilled men tell me that women are judging each other, and men really don't even care what us women are wearing or if we have makeup on.
Yeah, it's hilarious because I remember when I first told you this, and I was telling you that like women, you rejected this when
I'm still kind of in denial. The fact that you still love me without makeup is shocking to me.
Right, which is okay. We'll get into that, but the point is that women don't dress up and make themselves look beautiful for men. They do it for other women.
Correct.
Yes. So, anyways, we're going to talk about that. So, our termite and pest control friend, who's messaging us this morning from down south, is absolutely correct, and we are going to talk about that when we get to the Victoria's Secret topic a little bit later. What else do we have on the show for us today, Steph?
Fast food. Talking about the best fast food restaurants and the worst fast food restaurants, which I also gasped at.
Yes, the top. Okay. This is going to be a new story for me. Okay.
You know it.
Fast food chain sends Steffi into therapy mode. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. The therapeutic relationship. Oh, when
Talking about therapy.
Yeah. When family bonds break, estrangement. Choosing to be estranged from one's family is a painful dilemma. Sometimes one can't resolve damaging family dynamics. Needing to break ties with family members might be the only way to preserve one's sense of self. And breaking ties with family doesn't end the difficulty or pain of the dynamics at play. Then why do it, for the love of God? Okay.
Well, I kind of did it myself.
Did you?
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have a little therapy session here today on the show.
Yeah.
Have you been estranged from any of your family members, and are you willing to share it? If you are willing to share your story and you don't want to have your name published, that's fine. If you send us a text at 573-319-1586 with your story and just say, hey, don't drop my name, but here's my story, then we will keep your identity a secret. But we'd love to hear your stories of family estrangement.
Mhm.
Again, at 573-319-1586.
Whenever you talk about that, I always think about this life coach woman that we
Mhm.
watched on YouTube one time, and she was
Yes.
talking about family estrangement when your family is toxic. And it sounds like she was trying to convince everybody else to become estranged from their family because she did.
Right.
And she was just trying to like make herself feel better.
Like, no offense, Stephanie, to like your profession or anything like that,
Yes.
but it just seems unfortunately like so many therapists are like trying to inflict their mental health problems on other people and pretend like they're doing therapy when in reality it's therapy for them, and they are also, I think a lot of therapists cause problems for people because
Absolutely. They
yeah.
have their own unresolved issues. And I mean, I used to be in social work class with so many people that were still recovering. Like there was this one woman that she had some sort of abusive trauma going on and she was talking about it in class all the time. And it's like that's why these people were in the social work program, was to
So
help themselves ultimately.
So on one hand, I see the point of like people who have had mental health struggles in the past can relate to people who have mental health struggles, and therefore they could be good therapists.
Right. Like, especially in the substance abuse community, I found that a lot of people who have struggled with addiction, they become addiction counselors.
On the other hand, why it doesn't there's an argument to be made that sending mentally ill people to handle mentally ill people,
Two wrongs don't make a
yeah,
right.
it doesn't make a lot,
Yes.
like it seems problematic to me, right?
Yes. You kind of got to figure yourself out first before you can help somebody else.
Yeah. There's a lot to say about that. We are going to get to that. We will get there a little bit later in the show.
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be an interesting one today. Micro cheating.
Oh, this is an interesting one because a lot of the things on the list of micro cheating, I don't really think it's cheating at all.
Yeah, the New York Post article's headline was "The One Acceptable Way to Cheat on Your Partner."
I still wonder what it is. I don't think I discovered that.
Okay.
I have time to read through the whole article
Okay.
yet.
All right. Well, you might get a chance a little bit later, but we'll
It'll
see.
be a
It'll be
surprise.
a surprise. The one acceptable way to cheat on your partner, according to the New York Post. So we're going
Ooh,
to talk about micro cheating a little bit later
okay.
on the show. So it's going to be a fun show, but unfortunately, people are dying in the Middle East and being murdered by terrorists, and so therefore we have to talk about it. We listened to Joe Biden's speech last night?
We did. Well, I was rushing out of the Vietnamese restaurant we were at last night because I was so excited for this speech. For some
Yeah.
reason, I get really giddy about political speeches and debates.
Well, it was a pretty pivotal speech,
Hmm.
and I've got a little clip of it here, real briefly. Let's take a listen to a short snippet of President Biden's speech last night.
And I know many of you in the Muslim American community, the Arab American community, the
What's wrong with
Palestinian American community, and so many others are outraged and hearty,
I thought he
saying
had
to
a
yourselves,
testicle chin.
here
He
we
has a
go
beard.
again with Islamophobia and distrust we saw after 9/11.
Oh my God. Did he convert?
Yeah, he converted to
Is
Islam.
that what he was announcing last night?
Yeah, obviously this is not President Joe Biden's speech
Yeah,
from last night.
see, in the corner of my eye, I was like, is that Joe Biden? What is happening?
So let's just hear it again without you talking over it.
And I know many of you in the Muslim American community, the Arab American community, the Palestinian American community, and so many others are outraged and hearty, saying to yourselves, here we go again with Islamophobia and distrust we saw after 9/11.
Shit, girl, shit. I don't know. I mean, so this is kind of what I was trying to explain to you yesterday, Stephanie, is that
Hmm.
so the president supports Israel, right? Because
Yes,
he he
he was
he
just there the other day.
he knows that that's in his own best interests, because he's running an election year, right?
Hmm.
So there's that. He also is running as a Democrat, and his party is full of Jew haters. His
Yes.
party is full of anti-Semites and Rashida Tlaib types, Ilhan Omar's. So on one hand, he's got this challenge. He's running for president of the United States again. God only knows for what reason. And he's also trying to appease the Nazi wing of the Democratic Party that hate the Jews and want to see the complete destruction of Israel and want Hamas terrorists to murder more babies. And so it's like, on one hand, he's saying, we're going to send more money to Israel, and then he's also saying, oh, we got to worry about Islamophobia and all that. He's playing both sides in the middle. It's kind of like a bettor who like bets, if you've got like 50-50 and you bet on both, that way, a lot of people do this in politics. So they fund both sides.
Oh, yes.
And the reason why they do that is because whichever side wins, you want to be like, I supported you. Yeah.
Right.
You could say I supported you. That's why libertarians will say things like all wars are banker wars, because banks support both sides of the conflict. And so with Joe Biden's statement there, he doesn't make a definitive, clear, unabashed statement in support of Israel.
Right.
He has to also add the caveat, but the Muslims in the United States, who, by the way, are the safest Muslims in the world. The safest Muslims,
the ones in the United States.
The ones in the United States are the safest, and they have the most human rights of anywhere. The Muslims in the Middle East and the Muslims of Africa don't have anywhere near the human rights anywhere else in the world. And they come here, and here's the thing. The Jews don't move to the United States and then be like, we hate it here. We don't like the United States. But when they go to Minnesota and they go to Dearborn, Michigan, and they interview the Muslims of these territories, there are videos, and I've played these just in the recent weeks.
Oh, I think I've seen some of them.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's terrible here. We hate it here. We wish we were back in Somalia. I'm like, go then.
Right.
Get the out.
Feeling homesick.
Get out, please, for the love of God. They don't assimilate. They don't accept American values, and then they praise terrorism, and they're thankful when children are murdered. I say, go back to Somalia.
Yeah. I was just thinking, a lot of Jewish people do move to Israel because they really want to be there. So that's the interesting thing about it, is there are a lot of American Jews that make that pilgrimage over there.
You don't see videos of people going to the Hasidic communities of Brooklyn, and the Hasidic communities of Brooklyn talk shit about the United States.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never really asked them about it.
Yeah.
They always talk really good about Israel. They're always like, oh, my daughter, Sarah, she's going to Israel.
Sure. But there's a difference between saying, oh, the mother country, is nice. That's not what we're hearing from Nigerian Muslims who moved to the United States,
right?
Or Palestinian Muslims who moved to the United States. They continue to bring with them their anti-democratic, anti-liberal, anti-liberty views, and bring them here to the United States. And then we're supposed to act as if, when people say Islamophobia, why would anybody be afraid of a death cult that beheads people and blows people up and murders civilians? I wonder why anyone would be afraid of that. The problem is that Islam has not had a reckoning. Judaism and Christianity, they came into contact with secular humanism in the late 1700s and the early 1800s. And then we said, okay, no more holy wars, no more crusades. No more of this no more of this barbarism in the name of religion, right? You don't get to enforce religious law on the rest of the country. And the United States, as a secular nation, was born that respects everyone's religion. The Middle East didn't experience that. Islam has not experienced that. They have not undergone a process of assimilation into a Western world order that includes rights for women, that includes the liberalization of trade, that includes the type of punishment that coincides with a justice system that is actually just. I mean, for the love of God, how long can the world tolerate this kind of barbarism to continue? And the fact that people actually, not only do they not speak out, because some people are silent, not only not speak out, but there are actual people who actually supported these acts of terrorism. Not only these students, but I see people calling themselves libertarians who are like, it's an open air prison. How the do you get rockets into an open air prison? How do you get AK-47s? How do you get RPGs?
They're calling Gaza Strip an open air prison
I hear some libertarian retards calling it concentration camp
in the Gaza
in
Strip.
the Gaza Strip. How do you get rocket propelled grenades into a concentration camp?
The
Jews,
concentration camp really didn't have an iron dome on it. It just had the fencing, which is it
yeah.
looks like that's what
How
Israel
many?
has. Is it
Yeah,
has that fencing?
right. Did Bergen-Belsen? Did the Jews of Bergen-Belsen get their hands on rocket propelled grenades?
No.
Were they able to get their hands on some MP40s?
No,
Right?
because it
No.
was very restricted what was
Yeah.
coming in and out of those fences,
Yeah.
whereas somehow weapons are getting over those fences
Somehow
in the Gaza Strip.
somehow, yeah, somehow in
Who's
an
sending
open
them?
air prison. Yeah, where are they
Yes.
coming from? Because Stephanie, now that you're here, I want to give you a chance to talk. We watched a video the other night of the terrorist attacks. You
Oh my God.
want to talk about that?
We watched it right before we went to bed. And that was probably the worst idea ever because I was like, oh, great. Now I'm going to dream about this or have nightmares.
What did we
Literally.
see?
So, what we saw was it was like a compilation video of was it the attacks on October 7th of Hamas or was it maybe over the course of the past few weeks? But basically, it was Hamas terrorists going into Israeli neighborhoods and homes and they're just literally like shooting randomly in Jewish, well, I assume they're Jewish, but Israeli people's windows. And then we literally saw uncensored dead people and dead dogs. We saw a dead golden retriever on the floor that was shot up and it was like a murder scene everywhere, blood everywhere, from them dragging people.
We saw them breaking into the fence, using their grenades to like blow up the fence, going through the fence,
That's how they were entering into Israel.
And then when they got to people's homes, like there were civilians, like people who were like, wearing tracksuits, out for a daily walk,
right?
Just out for a walk, and then boom, they're just being shot in the back. Boom, boom, boom. AK-47 in the back.
I know. And then
doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing. They weren't resisting. They were just civilians fleeing. Okay.
Yes, and then we saw like these charred people in a car, and it's like it still looked like people, but they were just like all black
and
like,
charcoal. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so disgusting, and I can't get these images out of my head now. It's horrible.
Well, I mean, it's awful, and we don't want to dwell on these things too much and things like that because I think that like it can impact you a little too negatively. But I don't think that we should turn away. Right. I don't think that we cannot turn a blind eye to these kinds of atrocities, even if they're
reality.
Yes. And even if it's happening somewhere around the world, just because I don't think that the United States should involve themselves militarily or financially does not mean that we should not speak out morally in favor of civilization over barbarism. And you were asking me last night, what do you think the United States should do?
Yeah, because after we heard what Joe Biden is doing, how he's going to be sending more money to Israel, he's going to be sending basically resources to the Gaza Strip for the civilians, the people who are not the terrorists. And somehow he says they're going to make sure the terrorists don't get to these items.
Yeah,
how do you do that?
Well, you can't.
Right.
As a matter of fact, like when libertarians are like, when usually like you'll see libertarians lying and saying Israel created Hamas, for example, which is a lie. What has happened is that Hamas was able to gain funding and resources because of the humanitarian aid that's being sent into Gaza.
Right.
Because what Hamas will do is they will enact, it's kind of like Robin Hood, pay your taxes, right? So they're like, the merry men, if you will. The terrorists are the Robin Hoods in this scenario. They're like, if you want safe passage through Sherwood Forest, you have to pay your taxes to Robin Hood and his merry men, except of course this is Hamas.
So the civilians are paying Hamas?
Yeah. In order for humanitarian aid to enter into the Gaza Strip, Hamas takes taxes that goes in and takes a portion of it and then uses either the funding or the aid, the resources that are sent there, water, food, right, and uses it to support terrorism.
Gosh.
So that's when people are like, well, Israel supported Hamas, they funded Hamas. They were trying to offer aid to the people of the Gaza Strip who are suffering and that money gets siphoned away from the terrorists. If anything,
Right.
that's another argument for why we should not be sending humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip, because it goes to the terrorists.
I know.
And I don't support sending money or military equipment to Israel unless they buy them. If they buy them, that's fine.
Right, because Biden's like, oh, they're just things in our stockpile. We want to get new items anyway. We don't need these things that we're sending to them.
How does he know
like
we don't
rid
need
of
them?
Old clothes. Oh, I'm just donating them.
How does he know we don't need them, right? I mean, if we are really truly headed towards World War III, we're going to need them, right?
Like, right, you use everything, old, new, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. If there was ever a zombie assault on the Peterson compound, and a small band of our friends were holed up in the Peterson house with us, they're not going to be like, oh, well, do you have a JDAM? Do you have a Patriot missile? No, they're going to be like, wow, thank God Austin has a K-38, a 1931 Swiss rifle and 75 rounds of 7.5 by 5.5 millimeter ammunition to take out zombies with. Yeah, it was made in 1931, but it sure is damn useful for today, right? It's the same kind of concept where like Joe Biden is like, you want to take on the American military, you got to have nukes and tanks and planes and stuff, and like meanwhile, the terrorists in the Middle East, all they have is AK-47s and RPGs, and parachutes. Exactly. So maybe we do need those weapons. But the point is this: the point is that Israel is not a poor nation.
No,
they are not impoverished, and if the Jewish people want the state of Israel to survive, I am confident that if the state of Israel is in want or in need of these kinds of resources, they will pay to do it. I'm for America first. The American taxpayer dollar should be used to defend the American people first. Should we be spending military and financial resources to rescue Americans that are captured there? Yes.
Right. That's our duty, to help American people.
Yes. And since Israel is our friend and our ally, if we have information that we gather along in our intelligence gathering things, should we pass it along to our friends? Absolutely. Right. And if my friends, here's the thing, my friends, I don't buy them, like, I don't pay for their security. Okay. I want them to be secure. Some of my friends may live in dangerous neighborhoods, right? But if they want money from me for security, they have to buy it from me, right? They have to buy, if they want a gun from me, they have to buy it from me.
Right. Unless they're borrowing something.
Exactly. But if you borrow something, you have to give it back.
Right.
And if you're taking a grenade, there's no way to give a grenade back. Okay.
Right. You can't return used bullets. I guess you could refill them, but still you have to refill them.
You got to pay for it.
Yes.
Right. And the problem too is that Joe Biden wants to tie the aid to Ukraine. He wants to tie that aid to the Israeli aid. As a matter of fact, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio commented on that at Fox News. Take a listen to this.
Why is Joe Biden going on national television and selling people on a Ukrainian escalation when Joe Biden is talking about the terrible tragedy in Israel? Whatever your views, Sean, on Ukraine, it is a separate country and a separate problem. I think what the president did is completely disgraceful. If he wants to sell the American people on $60 billion more to Ukraine, he shouldn't use dead Israeli children to do it. It was disgusting. Why?
Your thoughts, Steph?
Oh, that is really interesting. I didn't think about it last night when I was listening to him, but yes, he did put together Ukraine and Israel. And it's like, those are two very separate fights here.
Yeah, they are. But they want to tie that together.
Okay, this is reminding me. The word that kept coming to my mind last night as I was listening to the speech was manipulative.
Yes.
Every word was so finely crafted in Joe Biden's speech, including the purposeful repetition of certain words to make it extra emotional. He would be like, all, like saying a few words, like multiple times just to re-emphasize it. And then he kept saying, peace. We want peace.
Yeah, bullshit.
And he makes war just sound so pretty with rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure so many people on the left were just feeding into that last night. Oh, yes, Joe, we want peace and love. Send all our money over there, please.
KV Andy over on the live stream says, I believe I'm going to have an AR built. It's about that time. There you go, Andy.
Cool. if you live in California, you can
can
have
now.
a AR built with a detached magazine.
Yeah,
right?
did you hear about this? Yeah, did you guys hear that California actually had a judge overturn their assault weapons ban? So
We
now
were just listening about that this morning.
yeah, kind of interesting.
Mhm.
So we'll wait and see, because you know what California is going to do. They're going to do what New York does. They're just going to pass another law, and then the Supreme Court's going to have to step in and slap them down. It's a constant fight to maintain our liberties, though.
Well,
isn't it,
Gavin
Stephanie?
Newsom is in Israel right now, so he might be a little distracted. So maybe we can, try to pass some sort
Campaigning
of
for president.
laws. Everyone go buy your AR-15s before he gets back.
If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, good morning. I'm your host, Austin Peterson. The lovely lady you see right over here is my wife, Stephanie Peterson.
Hello.
It's
Wife
freedom.
of almost 2 years.
That's right. Our anniversary this weekend. And we were glad to have you here. Do us a favor. Click that like button, will you? And subscribe for the channel for the cute redhead on the screen. We'd love to have you come back and join us every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time here on the Wake Up America show. This coming Monday, though, we will be taking off for our anniversary, having a nice couples massage and enjoying each other's bodies. You can join us again. We'd love to have you come back and join us. All right. So since it's World War III, it's time to talk about who counts as a disaster prepper these days.
Yes.
Lots of us. More people are prepping for a few weeks of flood, fire, or other urgent situations by buying supplies to get them through. This is a Wall Street Journal article. It says disaster preparedness, once the province of fringe groups and so-called preppers convinced doomsday was at hand, has a new face. A renewed interest in self-reliance is driving city dwellers and suburbanites to stock their homes and cars for emergencies, blamed supply chain shortages, remember COVID, and the shock of empty grocery shelves, or more recent natural disasters, and of course, tense global events. So a lot of these customers apparently just don't fit the kind of stereotype of, like, the military surplus wearing guy, ammunition and gas masks and all that kind of stuff. Like regular moms and pops buying first aid kits. We were just talking today, we need to get a sponsor. We need to get a doomsday sponsor.
Yes, I think a lot of people would be really interested in that. So the funny thing is, I think I kind of got burnt out on prepping back in 2012, because for me, I just kind of go all in on things. And then it's like after a while, I get tired of it, because I'm like, you know what? The world is not ending. I'm not going to keep preparing. And then I just kind of fall off.
Right.
Do you want me to tell you all the preparations I used to make? Okay. I used to buy things from Costco a lot, such as pudding. I would buy a lot of pudding because, God forbid we had no food. I would live on pudding. And then like those little applesauce squeezies, I would buy those. I have a life straw just in case I need to drink out of ponds. I have only used it like one time. The thing about it was that the life straw does not get rid of fluoride, okay, when you're drinking. So I was like, well, gosh, how can we get rid of the fluoride in the water? So the life straw. I remember,
like, during the Ron Paul days, like, I was like, I would be like, high on the devil's lettuce. And I was sure that at any time, at any moment, like during my campaign for Ron Paul days, that like,
oh my gosh.
I knew that the feds were going to kick my door down, and they were going to raid my house, and they were going to take me in for being a domestic terrorist and all that stuff. And I still think they probably might.
Oh yeah. I remember back in the like music downloading days when I was scared people were going to knock at my door and know that I downloaded Hillary Duff's CD.
I still get you for that. Here's why this is news. The surveys and rising sales of prefabricated disaster kits indicate we need to get some of those as a sponsor for our show. Indicate that Americans are more apt to keep emergency supplies on hand than they were a few years ago. Roughly a third of the U.S. adults who were surveyed said that they spent an average of $150 on items including non-perishable food, medical supplies, and cases of water in the past year. That's up from 20% than that did so in 2020.
I mean, that's smart. We do have like a little first aid kit. We do keep a Sam's Club sized water bottle thing.
Yeah. The guy that they interviewed for this article, a guy by the name of Rick Leesman from Kansas City, Missouri, he says, I'm not a bunker guy. I'm a PlayStation 5, love my comfort guy. If you told him a few years ago he would have 4 pre-packed bug-out bags hanging in his KCMO pantry, he wouldn't have believed it. They're filled with snacks, flashlights, water, and coloring books for his 2 sons. So,
Yeah. After a while, though, it's like when my stuff was, all ready in my pantry, I'm like, I need to start using this stuff before it goes bad.
right,
Because the
right.
food items will go bad eventually. So I started eating lots of pudding and all of
Mhm.
my food, and then it was gone. And then I'm like, oh, great. Now I have to replenish it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of toilet paper, that's probably a good item to stock up on. I bought a ton of it from Amazon recently. So we have lots of Cottonelle in
Well,
our house.
so I remember when the pandemic first broke out that people were like, of all of the people who like did the best during the pandemic, it was the preppers. The preppers were
Mhm.
the ones who
I
actually
know.
did the
We
best.
got to be like, we were right.
Told you
Ha ha.
so.
This is
Told
why
you.
we've been stocking up for so many years.
Yeah, yeah. So sales of emergency preparedness kits are on the rise, and specifically because after COVID-19 and after Ukraine, more and more people are looking at this conflict in Israel and Hamas and saying this could be it. This could be World War III.
I was thinking in my head, are bad things happening more often?
Mhm.
Is that why we feel the need to prepare more?
Mhm.
Or is it just because of the rise of social media and we're just seeing everything? So it's again just like those plane crash videos. We seem to think there's more plane crashes because we see it on
Yeah.
social media.
That's a good point. But the thing is that like a conflict between Israel and Hamas
Hmm.
is more of like it has that apocalyptic feel because
Hmm.
Israel is a nuclear power. They are going to do whatever it takes to secure their freedom. And a lot of people around the world are far more interested and have a lot far more invested in the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians than they do between Russia and Ukraine, for example. Like people support
Hmm.
Ukraine against Russia. They don't want Russia to take over Kyiv and they don't want, Russia to expand.
Hmm.
But they also care way more about what happens in Jerusalem and the Holy Land than they care about what happens in Kyiv.
Right. For their own religious reasons.
Yeah,
Is that what it
exactly.
is?
Exactly.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah,
and
I mean, I had a family member in Israel just up until about a week ago. My cousin's daughter, so my distant cousin, she was living in Jerusalem when this whole thing started, and she finally came back safely to America. So we're very thankful for that.
yeah, absolutely. And there are still Americans who are being held hostage in
Hmm.
Gaza, and we're hoping for the best for them and that they can be returned safely here to the United States. So, anyways,
I'm curious if anybody who's watching us right now, do you all have any family or friends in the Middle East right now? Because I'm honestly curious to know, what are they going through? I mean, are they going to work? Are they going to school?
hmm,
Do they get to go out to eat? It's like, is everything closed right now? Is everybody just in their bunker? I just want to know what is really happening
hmm,
on the streets
mhm.
of Israel right now.
Yep. One listener texted in, said, "Happy anniversary, happy Monday. Never forget your Ron Paul days.
Oh, thank you.
Some will support after him, and I are both pushing daisies." One listener texted in and gave us a prepper company that we might want to reach out to
That's
to
awesome.
sell their products here on the show. Another listener texted in. Quest says the Taste Police still have you on file for Hillary Duff, Stephanie.
I really do regret downloading so much music, especially from Apple, because I spent so much money
Hmm.
after I felt bad about, downloading it illegally.
Yeah.
I spent so much money and now I'm like, what am I going to do with all these songs?
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that you did, that I did during
Hmm.
the pandemic, or not during the pandemic, but during my Ron Paul days, was I bought gold, and I bought it when it was like $700 an ounce, $700 or $800 an ounce.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Oh yeah,
I bought mine over 1,000.
you bought yours over a
Oh,
thousand.
yeah.
So like, here's what happened in 2007. I started volunteering for Ron Paul in New York. I was watching, Alex Jones interviewing Ron Paul, and
Uh-huh.
I was thinking that the world was coming to an end, and
Yes.
that if the economy would collapse, that we would all go back to caveman days and trading gold coins and all
We'd
that
be
kind of stuff.
bartering.
We'd be bartering and all that kind of stuff. So I lived in New York City, so obviously I can't have guns. I couldn't have guns in New York City,
Uh-huh.
and
Right.
then I bought gold at like $700 or $800 an ounce.
Mm.
And then the 2007 2008 financial crisis happened.
Oh, my word.
The stock market crashed, the housing market crashed,
Mhm.
And my gold went from like $700 or $800 an ounce to like $1,000 an ounce.
Yeah, because I bought mine in like 2011, 2012.
Yeah. And so I was just like, Ron Paul was right, like Dr. Ron Paul cured my apathy. Yes, Ron Paul, save our constitutional rights. God, we were all such Paul-tards. It was like we were Paul-tards. And it was like I remember like we would scream Ron Paul so much that it stopped being Ron Paul, that it started becoming Ron Paul.
Yeah, it's like
Ron Paul.
I always picture someone who was probably on drugs at a Ron Paul rally that I went to in Michigan, and he was like,
didn't you
like doing this weird hippie dance?
Yes. We owe AI Creeper a debt of gratitude, by the way. Thank you, sir. He says,
what did he do?
Or Al Creeper, he donated $10 on the Rumble Rants. Thank you very much, guys. It helps. It's a nice little anniversary gift. He says, first time here, like what I'm hearing. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Al.
So cool. Welcome, and I hope you come back.
Yeah, we hope you come back and join us. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't lose us. I'm Austin Peterson. My wife, Stephanie Peterson, here joining us now. Talking a little bit about doomsday preppers.
Oh, it's such a fun topic.
Guocas0422 says he's old enough to remember $300 an ounce gold.
Oh
once.
my gosh.
Yes.
Please tell me you still have that gold.
Yeah, no kidding. Ron Paul. Burnt Toast Space Girlfriend's here with us. What's up, Burnt Toast?
Hey, we know you.
Yeah, she says Ron Paul.
It's like on South Park when they're like, you took her nerd.
They took her Ron Paul.
Words just start going together.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, it was, here's the funny thing about, we were talking about trying to get a sponsor. The funny thing about that is because of like my activism for Ron Paul, back in the day, I actually helped Ron Paul circulate petitions for auditing the Federal Reserve. Okay. And there I met Rachel Mills, who was working in Ron Paul's congressional office. And through that friendship, Rachel now works for Lear Capital. Ooh. And she's like, hey, Austin, let's pay you back and support the Wake Up America show. And they'll advertise on the show. And so it's because of my Ron Paul being a Paul-tard back in the day, that we now have Lear Capital supporting the Wake Up America show. And of course, you can get yourself some Ron Paul gold at Lear Capital.
Actually, they can get some George Washington coins. I was so excited. They emailed me. They always send me updates. And they showed a picture of their new Mount Rushmore collection. And they're starting off with George Washington coins. And I am so excited because I love collector's coins. Like I have a Missouri coin currently. And so they're just much more special rather than just getting like bars, because those are just so plain. So definitely, you all must check them out, and I love this music. You have to go to learaustin.com, or you can call Lear Capital. What's their number?
1-800-885-2175. That's right.
Yes.
And they've got that special still going on. I checked.
Oh, about $500?
Yeah, it's a $500 account credit.
So you can get a George Washington coin, and you can get a $500 credit if you call Lear Capital.
I mean, think about it. It's such an amazing deal, because even if you just buy like 1 ounce of gold, you're immediately getting that $500 account credit. So it's kind of like you're already in the money. So I would say today is a great day to call our friends over at Lear Capital. Tell them Austin Peterson sent you, and scream, Ron Paul! You got to call that number, 1-800-885-2175. That's 1-800-885-2175. Shake your moneymaker, Steffi. There you go. Let's make that money. Yeah.
Oh my God. This music is so good. I dream about it.
All right. Time for us to move on. Stephanie, Victoria's Secret bringing sexy back, they say.
Now that I'm all hot.
Yes. Oh, we got to say thank you to Studio 314. He's
my gosh.
He says everyone should learn how to be more self-sufficient. Prepping is good, as it's good to have backup. Remember toilet paper shortages? God, that was so stupid. That was the dumbest thing ever. People are like, what do I do if I don't have toilet paper?
I know we're getting on to another topic, but the question I have is, in terms of this EDC bag, like how much toilet paper can you really fit in your EDC bags? It's like, you know, when we're stockpiling all this stuff, my pudding packs, all that, how do I fit it in my EDC bag?
Yes. Okay. This is hilarious. You guys are cracking me up on the comments. Sign of Jonah, by the way, dropped $20 in the tip jar as an anniversary gift. Thank you. Saying, buy Studio 314 an adult beverage. Yes. Well, another listener texted in. Let's see.
You all are so nice to
Yes,
us.
self-reliance is awesome, but community resilience is pretty powerful too, says Eric Wilson Live.
You want to be
Absolutely.
friends with your neighbors.
Yes.
That's for sure. I
Yep.
think our neighbors would bunker up with us.
No, I
think they
agree.
would. Our neighbors across the street already said that we could use their basement if we ever needed to.
Yeah, in case there's like a tornado or something like that. Yeah, because we ain't got a basement. We're like prepped for everything but the one threat that we really need to worry about.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So, are you ready to talk about fat chicks?
Yes,
And
and
those
transgender people
sexy
actually.
chicks. Oh,
They were models for
are they
Victoria's Secret.
getting rid of the dudes in lingerie
Yeah,
for
they
that?
said transgender people and the plus size people. So I guess they grouped them together. I don't know.
My favorite, like, there's like a picture of Peter Griffin from Family Guy. You know, he's
Uh-huh.
like this big fat guy, right? And
Yes.
he wears a shirt that says "No fat chicks."
Oh, so he would definitely be in favor of this change.
So here's the thing. I mean, I don't know what Victoria's Secret was thinking. Like, did they really believe that like they were going to make more money selling lingerie, like of fat girls? Because here's the thing. You ladies, you know, do girls buy lingerie, sexy lingerie for their husbands or their boyfriends? Sometimes.
Yes,
Sure.
I like to look good for you.
Sure.
Yes.
Happens,
Mhm.
right? Like I particularly like stockings.
Uh-huh.
But I mostly when girls are looking at Victoria's Secret magazines, a lot of guys do too, sure. But they want to see a beautiful girl because they want something to look like. It's not to say that like chubby chicks don't want to be like, oh, I feel represented. Women love feeling represented.
Right, because all these women are like, oh gosh, I compare myself to everybody. Social media is
Right.
all about body shaming. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin. Again, women don't know what they want. Okay. I was thinking about it in
You
the
will
bathroom
never have
earlier,
a wife
actually.
like mine. Did you hear what she just said? Say that again, Stephanie.
Women don't really know what they want.
Do you
They
realize?
say that they want to be represented equally, but they really don't want that.
Okay, so hush now, woman. You men out there, I don't mean to just rub it in your face or anything, but you will never find a woman like mine. Okay, she is one in a billion. You will never find a woman out there who will say something like that. There might be a diamond in the rough for some of you gentlemen, right? Maybe you did find her out there, but there's nobody like that. Can you imagine hearing your wife say something like that? Women don't know what they want. Can you imagine? Let's give it up for Stephanie Peterson.
These are things I think about in the bathroom. Just this morning, I was like, okay, why is it that we don't like to see people that, you know, maybe have a little extra fat on them in magazines? If we want it to be realistic, it's because we do like to be tricked in terms of advertisement.
Right.
Advertisement has to be manipulative because fantasy is all part of desire to buy.
Right.
And so if I can fantasize about how great I'm going to look in some lingerie and I see it on this beautiful model, I can tell myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to look so beautiful in this.
So Victoria's Secret is said to be returning to its hypersexualized roots, which is funny when they say returning to its hypersexualized roots. So what they're kind of admitting there is by putting plus size and transgender models, they're making their brand less sexy, which is interesting because like that from a psychological perspective, it's kind of like, okay, good. You're finally admitting that like this is not attractive to people. You can't they want to force us to be attracted to something and you can't. We were talking about this last night because we were watching Curb Your Development and they were talking about like sex and like they were trying
fetishes or kinks or something.
They kept trying to like find out what he was kinky about. Larry David was kinky about.
His wife thought he liked butts because he made some comment to a woman on the street about butts.
Oh, you like big butts. And he's like and like the joke was that like because his best friends like was like getting a divorce, that he's scared that his wife is gonna like tell everybody about all his dirty sexual like fantasies. And so like Larry David doesn't even tell his wife what he's interested in because he doesn't want to ever fear that she might tell people what his kinks and all that stuff are, right?
Yes. So she was trying to figure it out.
She was like they spent the episode trying to figure out like what Larry David was like into.
I mean, there are some people that have a feederism. kink.
Oh
And
my
they
God.
do like larger people. So,
Yes.
I mean, maybe they would like Victoria's Secret magazine with the larger people, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not everybody. Again, money talks. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a large volume of people in order to bring in money.
Mm-hmm. Well, one listener texted in for, I guess, the first and last time.
Oh,
They're
no.
unhappy with me.
What
They say,
happened?
my thought is this: rename your channel since you aren't for liberty. Your boomer mod confused, censoring for being based. LOL. Back to Odyssey. Have no idea what this person is trying to say.
Was that person from the other day who was like hating on everybody
Oh,
and that we were
probably.
censoring him? And
Get the fuck off my
I don't
lawn.
know.
Get off my lawn. They don't understand the get off my lawn part of libertarianism.
Uh-huh.
Like, part of libertarianism is free speech, which means the government should not censor you, right?
Mhm.
And then the other part of libertarian is private property and my personal space, which means get the fuck off my lawn. Get
Mhm.
the fuck off my
Oh,
lawn.
liberals would love the fact that you're talking about your space.
Oh,
They love
yes.
talking about
Well, we have
spaces.
our private
This is your
property,
third
right?
space,
This is
okay? This
yes,
is your safe
it's
space.
my show, right? It's
Yes.
my show. And if you
Yes.
don't like how we handle things here, see, because here's the thing, and I don't want to get too much into the show. I'm just going to say this. Just to say this. I want to build healthy communities around the show. If that means I have a smaller audience, I'm willing to do that, because the bigger the community is, typically the more toxic it
Oh my
becomes.
gosh. Sometimes when I watch you on some other shows that are
Hmm.
really popular,
Hmm.
when you're being interviewed, I'm like, gosh, these people in these comments are horrible.
They're
I
really
can barely
hateful.
understand what they're saying. I honestly think they're like drugged out of their
A
mind
lot of
and
them
like
are.
don't even know the words that are coming out of their keyboard.
They're on drugs, they're drinking and all that stuff. And
Yes.
that's fine, you know what I mean? Like, and you want to have that kind of environment, that's fine. Go watch a show where people are like that, people are hateful or rude to one another. But
Hmm.
I feel like the way that I look at my liberty movement, and like I feel like I'm building a new branch of libertarianism, especially these days.
Yeah.
But like my branch of libertarianism is more like special forces versus the regular army,
Hmm.
right? So the regular army is going to be made up of like farmers and tailors and, drunks and dykes and, just your regular average Joes off the street. But like I look at my branch of libertarianism as like SEAL Team 6, right?
Hmm.
Like I want people to be a part of like my group and my show to be more of like the, hyper intelligent, hyper aware, hyper like focused on one another, building a community that is healthy, that is tolerant, largely tolerant to the extent that, we can have a community that is self-sustaining. But, when it's time to fight, you're like, Osama bin Laden at the compound in Pakistan, right? So
Like the honors society of libertarians.
exactly. That's kind of the way that I look at it, right? So, anyways, let's give him a reset. If you're just tuning in to the Wake Up America show, Kuoka says, "All right, screw that. Back to Victoria's Secret." Yes, exactly. If you're just tuning in, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you come back and join us every Monday through Friday. If you haven't clicked like and subscribe, what are you doing? Look at my smoking hot redheaded libertarian wife. She
I
comes in, she
dance.
dances, she
I
sings.
sing.
Yes, she
I'm red pilled.
and she is, and also based, and she joins us every Monday through. She joins us Fridays here on the show, so you definitely want to come back and join us. Floby Tenderson says AP calls retards retards. I need no more proof of his legitimacy in regards to common sense freedom fighting. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
All right, Berto Space Girlfriend says, "What is the opposite of hyper intelligent? Because I am that."
The opposite of hyper intelligent. That would be really stupid.
Hyper detarded.
Hyper stupid.
To me there's retarded and then there's detarded. It's like detard, the retard, like the one level lower. Anyways, so Victoria's Secret ditching the chunky chicks and the transgender dudes, and so there you go.
Yeah, the trans people especially. I'm thinking about that underwear that has the opening at the bottom at
Mm-hmm.
Victoria's Secret. I'm like, what happens with the transgender people in that whole thing in the
Mm-hmm.
magazines? Do they just like bleep it out?
Right.
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was showing you an ad not too long ago that came across my screen from Victoria's Secret, and I was like, this lady had like fat, coming down over her bikini, basically. We couldn't even see the underwear that she was modeling. And I was just like, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's these like really boyish women who are modeling lingerie, and you're just like, it just doesn't look appealing.
Right. So we're going to move on from the Victoria's Secret topic now to the next topic here, and this is foods that need to be refrigerated.
Okay.
And from there, we're going to talk about the top rated fast food chains in each
Mm.
state and the lowest rated fast food
If you're
chains in each
hungry,
state.
you better get a snack or
Yes.
else you're going to really be struggling right now.
Okay, so here we go. Ready? The 10 foods that need to be refrigerated. First one is tortillas. I didn't know this, but
No,
you
I
freeze them.
Okay, so here's the thing. We bought a huge pack of tortillas from Sam's Club and we can't eat them all because if you keep them out on the counter, which is what we do, then they definitely get stale pretty quickly. So I freeze part of them and then when we're ready to use them, I unfreeze them and I keep them on the countertop. I don't keep them in the refrigerator. And so I feel like the refrigerator makes them kind of like more firm. Everything's more firm in the fridge, even though I do heat up the tortilla before we eat it.
The thing that I've noticed is that like when you freeze the tortillas and then you like unfreeze them, is they get like they start to like flake, you know. And I
think
don't.
that's what happened just the other day when I made some tortillas.
But that's because they're frozen. Maybe it's different when you freeze them versus you refrigerate them. Maybe if you just refrigerate the tortillas instead of freezing them, they wouldn't like flake up, right?
Right. I mean, I used to put bread in the refrigerator. So I guess it's the same thing. It's all flour, right? So I used to keep bread in there to just keep it better for longer so no mold would grow on it. So, I mean, I could see where that's a good idea. We could try it. I'm open.
Next one on this list here is pie.
Okay, so this is so funny because Camellia usually makes us pies every year, and I do recall she had made like a some sort of a fruit pie last year for us. A couple fruit pies. We had like a few of them.
Yes.
We did keep them on our countertop, and I remember saying to you, "Could we do that, or is it going to go bad?" And in this article, it says the fruit pies, they do stay good for a little longer because of like how the fruit is made. It's like got the sugar in it.
Right.
So that helps preserve it. But if it's a pumpkin pie, apparently that needs to be refrigerated.
So here's a recommendation that's anything but flaky. Pies, specifically pecan and pumpkin, can become magnets for bacteria, right? They're only safe to eat at room temperature for about an hour or so out of the oven. Isn't that weird? I didn't know that.
Gosh, I mean, we've probably eaten so much bad stuff.
Yeah. So pecan and pumpkin specifically have got to be refrigerated. There you go.
So for everybody preparing for Thanksgiving, refrigerate your pies.
Fruit pies can be stored on the countertop for 2 days thanks to sugar and acids that ward off bacteria growth, but that's only 2 days. So eat that freaking pie.
I always extend the expiration dates. They don't exist in my land. I keep bread on the counter for way past the expiration.
Next one. This was the one that was the most shocking to us that we learned about only recently that has to be refrigerated, and that's maple syrup.
Oh boy, yes. So you don't like the syrup that has the fake sugar in it?
No, it makes me poo.
And so recently we were looking for our maple syrup that we did have in the cabinet. And then I was reading on the bottle. I was like, uh-oh, it said must be refrigerated. And we didn't refrigerate it. And it's been in there for like a year. So we were like, I think we tried it, but the flavor was kind of weird. And then I bought some new maple syrup and now it's in the refrigerator. So we have learned our lesson. Yes. No, I still don't understand why it would go bad.
I don't either. But
honey doesn't go bad. I feel like maple syrup and honey are.
Are we
like
sure?
similar.
Honey does kind of go. I mean, like it kind of does go bad, right? It congeals, right?
In those bottles.
At some point, honey's has got to go bad.
I don't know. Point, right? Here, wait. Does honey ever go bad? Because sometimes you hear about like 1,000-year-old honey that's still edible. Does honey go bad? Okay, bees are miraculous creatures, you guys. The short answer is that when properly stored, raw honey does not go bad. In fact, it is pretty much the only food on earth that does not go bad. I think bees are like God.
Okay, that's a very odd thing to say.
They are just such miraculous creatures. Like the more I have studied them.
Clementine says nothing has to be refrigerated if you're brave enough.
For sure.
Brindle Bear says, and you don't refrigerate your fresh eggs as long as they don't get wet. Last at least a month on the countertop, then to the fridge for a little while longer. Yeah, my dad doesn't always refrigerate all the eggs that he gets.
It's actually on that list right there. Yeah, because your dad brings us the eggs, non-refrigerated, and then he always says, "Oh, you guys can keep them on the counter for a while, no big deal." Now, the thing about me that is probably wrong is I keep them in the refrigerator for months and months.
Yeah.
They're still good. You never get sick.
Camellia, the pie expert here. Here she is in the street.
We were talking about you, Camellia, so thank you for hearing.
I don't know if she's been here the whole time.
Okay.
She says anything homemade needs to be refrigerated sooner, including bread. She also says that people think things can sit out longer because so many prepared foods have preservatives in them.
That's true.
There you go.
I mean, for me, I do the smell test and the look test. If it looks like it has some sort of green substance.
You can see bacteria?
Well, sometimes like bread will get green mold on it, and then I know for sure there's something on there. Or sometimes like cheeses get like white stuff on it, or little like fuzzies.
Sterling Champion is weighing in. He's weighing. He's kind of on the Victoria's Secret topic. That's okay. He says, honest question: how much of the collapse in sales across luxury goods is due to marketing backlash? One, and then how much is due to people's dire economic circumstances? I suspect it's the latter. No, it's true. It's true.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, people are really changing focus right now, changing their priorities.
Joni Rankin says her ex kept bees. Loved that my kids got to help maintain. Yeah, that'd be something for you, for you to do with our kids.
Yes, yeah, I do know a little bit about beekeeping. It's very hard to keep them alive, especially in the winter when you're in a climate that gets cold, because they get really cold, so you have to keep them nice and insulated.
One listener texted in, and I have no idea what they're trying to say. A picture of Steven Crowder with his change his mind sign. It says, bees and birds ain't really. Change my mind.
They ain't really. Oh, birds and the bees.
Yeah, but birds, I mean, ain't really what? Let me tell you about the birds.
Yeah, I never understood. Let's talk about the birds and the bees.
Because the bees pollinate and the birds.
Let me tell you something, okay? So there's like one queen bee, and like all of the male bees are, trying to get with her. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Clementine is building on top of the double entendres when he says, when your milk is thick enough to eat with a spoon, it might be time to throw it out. That's what she says.
Curdled milk.
Grixis his family has a bee farm in Wisconsin. That's cool. Eric Wilson Live says, personally, I've noticed a lot of friends trying to sell stuff on Facebook way more than normal. Yeah, a lot of people are struggling out there.
Yeah, I mean, true. We were trying to sell an old recliner chair on Facebook Marketplace not too long ago, and like nobody wanted it, so we had to give it away for free. And even for free, nobody wanted it. Let me tell you, all of these people were like, "Can you drive it to me?" Like they won't even take things for free anymore. They want you to do all the work.
Let's get back on track here.
Oh, sorry.
10 foods that need to be refrigerated. Fruits, oranges, limes, and lemons, citrus. Keep them cold.
Good.
To stretch their use for over a month in some cases.
Okay, so here's what I hear. You're supposed to keep them in room temperature if they're still ripening. And then once they're fully ripe, then you move them to the fridge to hold the ripeness. So yes, we do have our oranges in the fridge right now.
Yeah, weren't you like trying to like not have them be refrigerated? Weren't we just talking about this the other day?
Because here's the thing, okay? Like I trust Sam's Club so much, okay? And at Sam's Club, they have some things not in the refrigerator. And that boggles my mind. I'm like, Sam's Club has to know what they're doing, right? The oranges are not in the refrigerator, are they? No,
they're not.
No. The cucumbers and the tomatoes are not in the refrigerator, are they? No. Sam's Club lies to us. Okay.
The next item on this list of foods that need to be refrigerated is it's corn, a big lump with knobs. It has the juice. It has the juice. Corn on the cob survives much better when cold, since it begins to lose its sugar content dramatically when left at room temperature. Unless you're going to cook it right away, keep corn in the fridge, husks and all. For 1 to 2 days.
A lot of times I buy the ones that are already pre-prepared because I'm lazy. So yeah, I do keep them in the fridge. And I do freeze some of our corns because Sam's Club sells some frozen corns.
Now here's the next one is one that when Stephanie read it this morning, she fundamentally rejected it outright.
This is not right.
Okay, so the next item on the list of foods that have to be refrigerated, peanut butter.
I just don't get it. I have tried this before, okay? I put my peanut butter in the fridge and it turned very hard. I could not get it out with my knife. So how am I supposed to spread it on my sandwich if it's hard?
Hold on. University of Arizona professor Margareta A. Cooper said to marthastewart.com that refrigerating peanut butter is a smooth move to avoid a sticky situation.
Smooth. Yeah, right.
Because
No.
it does not have preservatives or stabilizers. It's best refrigerated to keep it fresh and to prevent the oil from separating out. She says the separated oil in unrefrigerated natural peanut butter is more likely to become rancid sooner, leading to unpleasant taste and texture. There
Okay,
you go.
this is true. So when I used to eat organic peanut butter is very different than Jif.
Mm-hmm.
Jif is, got all the preservatives and stuff in it, so it's really naturally creamy. There's really no separation of oil and peanuts. But in the organic kind, there's quite a separation. It's very watery. So yes, I have actually put it in the refrigerator before just to thicken it up. So, okay, if you have organic peanut butter, put it in the fridge. If you don't, keep it in the pantry. That's my advice.
There you go.
Because I like mine creamy. I like it to spread all nice on my bread.
Yeah. I like both. Sometimes I like crunchy, but I can go either way. But typically my go-to would be creamy. Eggs. While it may be customary for Europeans not to refrigerate eggs, the USDA suggests otherwise for the United States. Eggs can be refrigerated 3 to 5 weeks from the day they are placed in the refrigerator. To keep them safe, take eggs straight home and store them immediately in the refrigerator at 40 degrees or slightly below. Leave them in their carton. Place them in the coldest part of the refrigerator, not in the door. American eggs are washed and dried.
Oh, not in the door? My mom used to keep ours in the door all the time.
So here's the thing. So if they're natural eggs from the coop, it's not as big a deal. But because American eggs that you buy from the store are washed and dried, it removes that protective coating that they have on the outside called the cuticle. And that makes our eggs more prone to salmonella related infections. So that really is the key. So if you have chickens at home, they're still going to have that cuticle on it, right?
Yeah. I mean, the problem for me is that I think I store them in general, even in the refrigerator, too long. I never think eggs go bad. So I don't know. How can you tell if an egg has gone bad? Does anyone know?
I have no clue.
Because I can't tell. So we actually had a frozen egg not too long ago. Do you remember that? We pulled it out of the fridge and it was frozen.
It was like too cold in the refrigerator for it. So yeah. No, you can freeze eggs. They can be frozen and stuff. So I don't know if that messes them up or not.
Can you freeze eggs?
Yeah.
That's a question as well.
No friggin' clue. Apparently you can freeze cooked eggs because you eat all those nasty frozen omelets that you bring out of the deep freeze.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like my pre-prepared meals because I'm a busy housewife. I work, I do all kinds of things.
Yep. Well, since we're talking about food right now, probably now is a good time for us to go ahead and talk about our coffee.
Talking about being a housewife, I make Austin coffee every night before bed.
Yes, she does.
And the kind of coffee that I use is our very own company called Founding Flavors Coffee.
Yeah.
It is based on the founding fathers of America. So you have Franklin's Electric Elixir, Washington's Revolutionary Roast, Jeffersonian Java, Betsy's Liberty Lullaby, Thomas's Painkiller, Adams's Patriotic Perk. I think I got them all.
Did you get Washington's Revolutionary Roast?
Maybe. So we're also going to have a very special holiday flavor being released ASAP. So look out for that.
Let's keep an eye out. And we've got another exciting announcement to make for the coffee because we're going to be part of a new program that's going to allow us to bring you.
For those of you who like K-Cups, we are going to get those.
I'm so excited.
You no longer have to use our reusable pods that we have for sale on our website, apforlibertyshop.com.
Yes, you'll be able to get K-Cups for us. It will be a little bit pricier, and if you want to save money, I would recommend you use the refillables, and it also cuts down on waste and things like that. But what I'm encouraging people to do, Stephanie, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, for people who have already tried the coffee, right, they should sign up for a subscription.
Yes.
And here's why. Because the holiday season is coming up and it's party time.
Right.
So, for example, like next week, we're going to a Halloween party. Guess what my gift is going to be?
Well, we can't say.
Yeah, he's not going to listen.
Okay.
He's not going to know.
It's going to be coffee, apparently.
Yeah, we'll bring him our brand of coffee. I mean, that's a great gift.
It is a good gift. A lot of people love coffee. I mean, you really can't go wrong.
So here's the thing. People are like, oh, well, I don't know if I will drink that much coffee. Well, even if you just sign up, let's say for like the next 3 months for like a once a month delivery of Founding Flavors, if you have extras, you'll be like, all right, I'm going to be the coolest guy at the party this year, and I'm going to gift this all to my family for all of or friends when I go to their houses for parties. So I really want to recommend and encourage those who are already fans of Founding Flavors Coffee to go ahead and sign up for a gift bag for yourself for a monthly. We've got 2 weeks. You can do a 2-week subscription. You can do a 1 month, 2 month, or a 3 month subscription. And if you buy more than one bag, then the discounts add up.
Nice.
So we have a bundles page where if you go to the bundles page and you add more than one bag at a time, then the discount goes all the way up to like 12% per bag. So if you order 4 or more. So visit apforlibertyshop.com. If you haven't tried it yet, try one bag. Have it delivered to your home. Remember, the price that you see is the price delivered to your front door. Our price is just under other premium brands online delivered to your front door. When we did our homework,
We've calculated. Trust us.
we did the homework. By the time delivery and tax comes in, we come in just a hair under most other premium brands. So visit apforlibertyshop.com. And I guess, can you freeze or refrigerate coffee?
Well, we actually do have some coffee in our freezer, in our big freezer. So apparently you can. We got to take it out at some point.
Yep, there you go. So apforlibertyshop.com. That's AP, the number 4, apforlibertyshop.com. Get yourself some delicious Founding Flavors coffee. Oh, and just very briefly, for those of you, because we are still getting orders for Halloween merchandise at the shop, like our No Lives Matter shirts and things like
And our
that.
government is scary too. We just saw that the other day.
At this point, we cannot guarantee delivery of Halloween items that you buy for the shop to make it there in time. If you've already bought them, then they will be there in time. But if you buy them now or later, then we can't guarantee it'll be there by Halloween. So like I had a customer the other day who bought a couple of the No Lives Matter Michael Myers shirts. And I immediately called her up and was like, hey, are you sure you want these shirts? Because they may not make it there in time for Halloween. And she's like, no, my son is going to love it. He's going to laugh. So she was like, yeah, go ahead and send them. So
A lot of people love Halloween all year round. So they just keep up Halloween decorations and wear Halloween stuff whenever they want.
right. Well, the No Lives Matter shirts will like make sense all year round. So yeah, check those out at apforlibertyshop.com. Oh, our buddy Caleb says that he's got a tip on the eggs.
Oh.
He says if it floats, it's bad. If they sink, they're good.
We better do the float test.
Do the float test on your eggs.
Oh,
There you
if
go.
it floats, it's good. No. If it floats, it's bad.
If it floats, it's bad. If it sinks, it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotta
So
keep that in my head. Thank you.
There you go. If you want to text the show and let us know what's on your mind, you can send us a text at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Text us, letting us know what's on your mind and what you think about the news of the day. If there's breaking news or something happening in the world that you think that we might be missing and you want to hear us discuss, you can also send us that, as well as I also really like when people send us guest suggestions. We actually got a couple of guest suggestions today too. Sometimes the people will be like, hey, get Donald Trump on your show or something. And I'll be like,
That'd be cool.
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Do you have his phone number? Right. I have his old phone number actually, but I don't have his new one. So
if you want us to have a guest on the show, reach out to them first.
Yeah.
See if you can get them to,
connect
to
us.
want to do it.
That'd be great. For sure.
The more people that tweet at these people to be on the show, the more they're going to notice.
This is cool. I just retweeted it. Somebody says, I promise I'll start listening on Rumble, but I love the way your show makes my lock screen look when using YouTube. Take a look there. That's pretty sweet.
That's so cool. It's like this pink, all of those nice colors, retro wave colors.
Yeah, synthwave, retro wave.
Synthwave,
that's right. Synthwave, retro wave. Let me pull it up on the screen so people can see what I'm talking about here. So yeah, we don't stand YouTube because they hate us, but but that is a pretty cool. That's our channel logo right there. Channel logo art over at YouTube, but we don't like YouTube anymore. We like Rumble, don't we?
Yes, Rumble is much nicer to us.
Rumble actually lets us make money.
I think you might be able to try to get back on YouTube in November. I think they said something about that.
Yeah, for sure. We still stream it over there because some people just cannot they cannot use Rumble for whatever reason, but I'm going to just stick with Rumble because Rumble's sticking with us. And we stand for free speech, and Rumble stands with free speech for us. Because I just don't know that there really is a future on YouTube for people like myself, because I just think that my views don't align with that. So, Camellia says, ladies, don't freeze your eggs. It doesn't work.
Oh, like the... Okay. I mean, I had my gynecologist talk to me about that. So, oh my God. That's so funny. Oh my God. Camellia, you made a funny today.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think she's talking about those kinds of eggs. Right. For sure. A good morning to Wagner195. He says, "Good morning, everybody. Wagner watching right now from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil."
Wagner.
Yes.
Oh my God. We have the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Yes.
Larry David was singing.
Yes.
This man was like, "Are you Jewish?"
Wagner was anti-Semitic.
No, how could you sing that? That's so funny.
And so then he like went to the guy's house and like had an orchestra play Wagner outside his house. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Will, hey, there's Will Run Riot. Hey, Will, don't forget we set up that 2-week coffee plan just for you today, man. I hope that we can convince you to subscribe to the AP for Liberty Shop coffee thing. He wants the 2-week deliveries.
Oh,
I set that up specifically for him. So
like coffee a lot.
Yeah, he wants a lot of coffee. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so let's continue on here. We're almost done with this story.
I was like, oh, it's done. What time
The
is it?
10 foods that you have to refrigerate. Ketchup.
Yeah, we do refrigerate ketchup. Although at restaurants, they're not refrigerating their ketchup. What's up with that? They always have the condiments on the table. So at night, do they like refrigerate them and then bring them out?
So the official Heinz account on X posted back in June, FYI, ketchup, period, goes, period, in, period, the, period, fridge, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. So, and this was written, the New York Post describes this as a bombshell.
Yeah, it is. Because I think a lot of people do what restaurants do and they just keep all of their condiments out on the table.
I love the New York Post so goddamn much. I read it every day. Here's how they said this. Here's what they say. They say, after the bombshell, a representative from the brand mustered up the courage.
Mustard. That's Camellia's egg joke and this whole mustard thing. I'm just.
Don't you love the Wake Up America show? Don't we have fun? Aren't we all friends? Do us a favor, friends. Would you click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and come back and join us every Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. My lovely wife, Stephanie Peterson, is joining us in studio, and our anniversary is coming up this Monday. So we're actually going to be taking the day off on Monday. So we're going to 3-day weekend, and we're going to go get a couples massage. And
it's an Asian one.
So we'll be back on Tuesday. Oh, Asian massage.
I did that on purpose. I thought it'd be more fun.
I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. So on Monday, there will be no show, but Tuesday through Thursday, Friday, we'll be back. So next week. So if you like seeing Stephanie and me hanging out together, it's every Friday. We call it Freedom Family Friday. Sometimes Justin, my brother, comes on the show, and we call it like people who are like our extended family. We will sometimes include as well. So, all right, we're talking this morning since Friday. Freedom Family Friday is considered to be like the fun day, right? We get off of like the big.
The F's. All the F's.
All the F's. We get away from all of the mean and ugly and nasty topics, unless it's huge news, which we already covered earlier this morning. We talked about Israel, Hamas, and anti-Semitism.
Biden.
We talked about it all. Now we're talking about fun stuff like foods that have to be refrigerated.
Who doesn't love food?
Like ketchup. Honestly, for years, I had no idea that you had to put ketchup in the refrigerator. Yeah.
Because again, if you look at in public, when you're at like a food cafeteria place, they have their ketchup, their mustard, their mayonnaise. It's all out, not in the fridge.
So, but here's the thing. Apparently, even if you refrigerate ketchup, it only lasts for 6 months.
That's BS.
Isn't that wild?
I keep it for much longer.
I had no idea, right? I had no idea. Eric Wilson live on the live stream says, Austin's going to wake up in a cold sweat at 7:02 a.m. on Monday.
I know.
It's true.
We're going to feel lost.
And no, it's true. Like it definitely screws with me when like it's a weekday or for whatever reason we're not doing the show. I think since we started the Wake Up America show a year and 2 months ago, I've taken one vacation and maybe almost no days off, pretty much. I don't think I've taken like any days off.
Yeah, you've taken some time off. I think because of like maybe another engagement. Where you had to be somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but even still,
I don't. So. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I just remember your brother filled in for you once. I think that was when we were in Japan, right? Yeah.
Wagner195 says that, friends, good morning. There are more than 300 people watching and only 50 likes. Let's leave a like to strengthen the channel. Yes, thank you.
That's right. I like that spirit.
Thank you, Wagner. We appreciate you very much. Really appreciate your operas. Next item on the list of foods that need to be refrigerated: whole wheat flour. I thought you just put that on the shelf.
That's weird. I keep ours in the pantry. I've never kept flour in the fridge.
Unfortunately, the elusive flavor of whole grains begin to fade once the grains are milled, and without special care, whole grain flour can begin to taste insipid at best and bitter as time goes on.
I mean, I don't really use flour that much. I guess I just don't really bake very often.
Right.
So,
The colder and darker the storage environment, the better whole grain flour will keep. Warmth and light increase the rate of oxidation, so freezer storage is ideal.
whoa, freezer.
Yeah, if there isn't adequate freezer space, the back of the fridge will do. So good to know. Anytime in the future that when we're buying
Yeah.
flour, we need to put the bag in the back of the fridge.
We
There you go.
usually keep our baking soda in the fridge
Mhm.
because I remember my mom used to always put it in the fridge to keep it fresh.
All right. Well, the next one, this one, honestly, I don't know about this one. Butter.
Okay, so I have a thing about butter. Okay?
Everybody's got a butter idea, right? So,
Up until I was in this relationship with you, I never used real sticks of butter. My mom would always buy, I can't believe it's not butter. And so we would eat like fake butter. It was like margarine. So we would always keep that in the fridge. And I can't believe it's not butter. It's always nice and like creamy and stuff. Here's the thing about the stick butters that I didn't know before is that in the fridge, the stick butter's really hard. We also freeze our butter too, because we buy a lot of butter. We love Sam's Club. So they should be one of our sponsors. Seriously.
yeah, no kidding.
But anyway, so we freeze it and then we thaw it out when we're almost ready to use it. And then we put it on the counter because that's what makes it all nice and soft. So it's spreadable. Because, like, how do you put the hard butter on your bread from the fridge?
You don't.
I don't know.
You don't. We leave our butter in the butter dish covered, but we eat butter pretty fast anyway. But
Yes.
doesn't real butter taste so much better than that crap that you buy? I can't believe it's not butter.
It's so funny because I would need to do a direct taste test. I would need to try both of them side by side because I can't really remember anymore the difference. I feel like I can't believe it's not butter has more of like a intense flavor because it has more stuff in it.
All right. Well, that's the end of the list. That's 10 foods that have to be refrigerated. And now it's time for us to move on to the top rated
More food.
fast food chains in every state. So the top rated in each state and major city. Right. So, what do you think?
Can I tell you? It said, do you see this Chuck E. Cheese?
Mhm.
You see that right there?
Yes.
That was why I had to go to therapy. So does it say right there that people really love Chuck E. Cheese?
So this actually shocked me, and I'm kind of disappointed. That's New York's. So when it comes to corporate pizza, the preferred mass market pizza purveyor was Chuck E. Cheese in New York.
I mean, what? Is there like a Chuck E. Cheese on every corner or something?
Okay, I have a funny Chuck E. Cheese story, actually.
Funny Chuck E. Cheese stories?
Yes. Text us your Chuck E. Cheese story at 573-319-1586. So when I was living in New York City, my girlfriend at the time and I wanted to go get some pizza at Chuck E. Cheese and like maybe play some games.
So you liked the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese?
It was just like a hipster thing to do, like ironic. Oh, we're gonna go to are you trying to pull like you like big butts kind of a thing here or something? But
no, I'm just like, that's so weird that you're in New York and you're like, hey, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese instead of this place in Brooklyn that has
you're
an
right.
awesome slice.
No, you're right.
You know?
And I am a pizza snob, but like if there's one thing that you can do, you can eat McDonald's in New York City, but you have to do it ironically. You can eat pizza chains in New York, but only if you do it ironically. Okay. So, for example, when I went to Chuck E. Cheese, we were going there ironically. We weren't like going there like, oh my God, we're so excited to go to Chuck E. Cheese. It was more like, oh my God, can you believe we're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese right now? Right. That's kind of the attitude. Right. So it's okay.
A different vibe.
You can't go to like chain food places in New York unironically. You can only go there ironically.
It's all about the meaning behind it.
Exactly. The intent matters, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So so we're going to Chuck E. Cheese and we walk in, me and my girlfriend, and we're like, all right, we just want to go in, and there's like a little like entry gate and they won't like let you in. And I'm like, can we go get some pizza and stuff? And they're like, you can get a pizza to go. And I was like, well, it's because it was a long walk. You have to walk everywhere in New York, and it was a long ass walk. And we were not about to like go hold a pizza box and walk like 20 blocks or whatever it was.
Right.
We were going to sit down and eat. So they're like, okay, you cannot sit down. You can order a pizza to go, but you cannot sit down and stay here and eat it. And we're like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's the reason?
What's the deal? Where they're like, well, because perverts are, come in here and they want to get close to kids.
I was thinking about that idea, but I didn't think that was actually what it was.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently they don't let, that's like their policy is to not let random adults in if you don't have kids with you because of random. I'm like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm there with my girlfriend and I'm like, we're not like going to do anything with any kids. We're just here to eat a pizza.
You never know.
I guess.
Groomers come in all sizes and shapes.
I guess. So anyways, so we're like shady looking, I mean, a handsome young couple at the time, right?
Right.
And so finally, like after I harassed them enough, they were kind of like, all right, fine. They let us eat a pizza. But in New York, the top chain is Chuck E. Cheese. What's your Chuck E. Cheese story, Stephanie?
Okay. When I was 5 for my birthday party,
Chuck E. Cheese touched me.
My mother had it at Chuck E. Cheese, and this is on family video. So Chucky in his costume was starting to approach me, okay? And I am sitting there screaming and crying, and my mother is going, get away! Get away! Okay, and this is on family video, so I've gotten to relive this trauma over and over. So you would think that after my birthday party, I would have gotten over it. No, I didn't. Up until I was in college, I had a fear of people in costumes. I literally would have panic attacks when I was at Cedar Point, even in my cafeteria at Oakland University as a college student, when my mascot was there and I would yell, get away, get away. It was horrible. So I went to my college therapy place and I got exposure therapy. And with my therapist, we actually went to a sports rally at my university one night, and we were trying to meet my mascot of my school. He never appeared. So we snuck into the back of the sports arena, me and my therapist, and we found the mascot getting dressed in his dressing room. How embarrassing. And so then my therapist was like, hi, I'm from the therapy center. And I'm sitting there crying, while this guy does not have his mascot head on. She's like, can we meet you? And can we get a picture with you? So there literally is a photo of me and my mascot from Oakland University on my Facebook page.
So this was literally a phobia for you.
I had a true phobia of people in costumes. It was very bad and debilitating and embarrassing because it's like I couldn't go to Disney World. I went finally for the first time when I was 16.
I mean, don't you still feel weird around like people in costumes?
Yeah, I feel uneasy. So it's like if they have a guide next to them, I feel more at ease because I feel like that guide is going to control them more. I just feel like with these people in costumes, I have no control over them and they can touch me and violate my space like how Chuck E. Cheese, did.
Touch me and violate.
Because he was coming at me and I was screaming and we were saying, get away. And he kept approaching us. It's like, in what place in society is it okay to keep approaching someone when they tell you to get away?
Can I ask you guys something, the audience, real quick, like just between you and I? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Entertained by my mental health problems?
Are you not entertained? Do us a favor. If you are entertained this morning, will you please click that like button and subscribe? If we got 305 people in there, we ought to at least get 100 likes on the channel, don't you think?
Because of that traumatic episode, I never was able to enjoy the pizza at Chuck E. Cheese.
Now, Kermode Bear, who is our friend, who is a furry, he's concerned. He says,
oh, he's a furry?
He is a furry.
Oh,
he says, oh
cool.
No, Steffi, does this mean you are scared of furries and the fursuits?
Yes. Okay, so there's like special... have this like ranking system of like scary in terms of people in costumes. So like SpongeBob and Hello Kitty are the least intimidating. If you're shorter than me, I'm not intimidated by you. But the bigger the character is, Like if it's those people from the Jungle Book at Disney, they are the freakiest.
Eric Wilson Live says he feels uncomfortable around stylists' mannequin heads. I could see that. I could see that as being creepy. You know what creeps me out is like ventriloquist dolls.
Oh yes.
Which is funny because I had a ventriloquist doll as a kid, and I actually I did ventriloquism, and I remember at night it was a clown. And I remember like there would be nights where like my clown doll was sitting in the chair and the moonlight is coming in through the window and the clown's white face is like shining and staring at me with this smile and stuff like I'm like getting goosebumps just talking about it right now.
Gosh.
This is a really good like Halloween type of topic.
Yes.
But I think I remember reading like the Goosebumps book where there was like a dummy that came to life and like murdered people and stuff. And then of course I saw Stephen King's It.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you saw Toy Story.
No, the version.
Like,
No. So the 1990s version of Stephen King's It with Tim Curry, and Jesus, I would have some scary because I would have to like. So the thing was, I would hide the ventriloquist clown underneath my bed. Because so I didn't have to see it, but I actually like that scared me even more
because he could come out.
Because then I would be like, okay, he's hiding under my bed. He's going to come out from underneath my bed, and then he's going to grab my leg.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's horrible.
Right. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. All right. So Wagner 185 says, excellent Friday to you all and have a great weekend. Hey, bud, if you're leaving, thanks for coming in. It was nice to meet you this morning. Thank you, Wagner. Yvonne Fulcher says, really kind of crazy. Surely you need more psychotherapy. Maybe true.
Therapy. I'm good.
We're glad to have all of our listeners and viewers here on the Wake Up America show, where if you're joining us now live, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Here's the thing about fears and anxiety and all sorts of stuff is that you can never make it 100% go away. It's always going to still be there. Same with trauma. You know, it's like trauma, you can make a lot of progress, a heck of a lot of progress where it really doesn't bug you, but it'll always still be there. You're never going to forget. And that's just kind of how life is.
One listener texted in, our friend Floby Tenderson. He says, Floby says, as a 22-year Texan, native to St. Joseph, Missouri, what up, St. Joe?
Yeah.
It's right up there near Liberty. He says, don't you dare mention Whataburger. You haven't had that yet. It's garbage.
Whataburger? No, I don't think I have. I've had In-N-Out Burger.
He says Whataburger is garbage. He would rather support California's In-N-Out, and they don't even have bacon. In-N-Out Burger is friggin' good. I've had like I think it's called an animal style In-N-Out in California. Have you ever had that?
When I went there, I was a vegetarian, so I just remember their fries are super skinny. Don't they have really skinny fries?
The In-N-Out, I think, are like the crinkle fries.
Okay.
I might be forgetting.
Yeah,
but
so I don't really remember. It was so many years ago, back in the early 2000s.
Speaking of fries, Quest said that we had Five Guys in Geneva, Switzerland.
Oh, so Five Guys is on that list, I believe, as being one of the favorites. I like Five Guys, but here's the thing. That list said that Burger King and McDonald's were like the least favorite. To be honest, I love Burger King and McDonald's more than Five Guys.
Yeah, we don't like Burger King anymore because they took their ads from Rumble. So, you know.
But I don't judge the food, and the food is still really good.
Yeah, I like the Whopper, but we have to cut back on our Burger King to stand in solidarity with our friends at rumble.com.
That's right.
The key findings of this, where everybody's like their top fast food chains and like bottom fast food chains. The key findings in this top one is that Chick-fil-A is the top rated fast food chain in most states and big cities. So you are not the biggest Chick-fil-A fan.
No,
really.
Bland. Okay, I am a chicken tender connoisseur. I have coined myself that. And no, I mean their chicken is just, it tastes too healthy. You know, it's just not good. So no, I do not get excited to go to Chick-fil-A. Sure, their fries are cool, but I rather go to Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen has the best chicken fingers on the planet.
Will Run Riot says basic pizza dough is easy to make. 100% flour to 65% water, 2% salt to 1% yeast, rise for at least 4 hours. Dude, we did not have luck making pizza. We tried.
No,
I just couldn't. We couldn't spread it out properly to like make it like the proper like consistency, and
Mhm.
then it was like sticky and it wasn't proper. Will, you're gonna have to make pizza for us one day and show us how to do it. You know what you need to do, Will? Make a YouTube video of how you make your pizza,
Yeah.
and I tell you what we'll do, Will. If you do that, we'll do a baking show, baked pizza show. We'll make a Will Run Riot special pizza show.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do like a breakfast pizza because it's a morning show,
Ooh,
so we'll have
yummy.
like the eggs on it and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, for tendies, Grant Sunnyman says, "I love Zaxby's
Oh, Zaxby's. Zaxby's is good.
in
Yeah,
Columbia.
you've taken me there. I like them there.
That's where I get the kickin' chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So good. That kickin' chicken is amazing.
Their chicken's a little bit floofy. I have a thing about floof.
She doesn't like
with
the
my
floofy
chickens.
chickens.
I don't like floof. It has to be like
Properly crisp.
medium floof, but pretty much crispy
Yes.
all over.
If
So
there's
it's like got that crunchy soft.
right. If
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
too soft,
Mm.
like the floof,
Yeah.
the breading,
Yeah.
then it's not good for you.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So there you
Yes.
go. All right. Everybody's criticizing my freaking pizza now. They're saying sounds too much water, Austin. You sound like too much water, Studio
That's like a
314.
pineapple pizza during my YouTube
Ugh,
days. There is a
gross.
video of that somewhere on the internet.
Okay, well, that's disgusting. It should be a crime. All right. So the next one here. So Chick-fil-A, not your favorite.
No.
The lowest rated chain is Papa John's.
I think I used to have that pizza and like chicken, like barbecue chicken. I
Mhm.
think I used to have that in Michigan
It
sometimes.
was okay. Their barbecue chicken pizza is good.
Mm.
And here's the thing: I only really like Papa John's if it's their thin crust.
Mm.
Their thick crust
Okay.
is it's okay. I would put it more mid tier than like the lowest.
Mhm.
I don't know why people really just dislike Papa John's. We don't really get it, but
No.
if it's a thin crust, I could go for it.
The one pizza I really don't like is St. Louis style pizza. I don't like that. What is that?
That Provel.
Provel cheese. I don't like
Boo,
that.
dude. You're never
no.
gonna get elected in Missouri with saying
No.
things like that because it's like the St. Louis thing. But I do not
Mhm.
like Provel either. It's provolone and cheddar and mozzarella mix. So it's like waxy. It's
Ugh.
like a waxy
Ugh.
cheese on top of it, and it's like, yeah. And I don't want to rip on it too much because our buddy Neil, who owns Tucker's, makes
Oh,
he
sorry.
makes Provel like St. Louis style pizza
Okay,
there,
maybe
and like.
his is better.
Well, his gets really good ratings in St. Louis and
Yeah.
stuff. Well, you know what? If you're ever in Jefferson City, Missouri, if you're ever in mid Missouri, you know what we like is one. And I bet only people who know about this, and it's packed every weekend,
Mhm.
is Pizza House.
Mhm. They have great salad dressing there too.
Yes, in St. Martin's, Pizza House, Haus.
It's like German.
Yeah, a lot of
Pizza
German.
House.
Pizza House, yeah, super. But if you like pizza, then we recommend Pizza House in
Uh-huh.
St. Martin's. Maybe we should get that this weekend.
Mhm.
But that place is always packed. It's like in a small town. Like you take a turn left at Bob's Guns, and then you're at Pizza House in
Across
St.
from
Martin's.
the dollar store.
Yeah, across from the dollar store. It's friggin' good. And then there's like one other like local joint that we like, Pizza Underground.
Yes, that's more of a, what do you call it, artisan pizza?
Artisan pizzas. It's kind of expensive.
They're like specialty pizzas, like mac and cheese pizza and things with different toppings on them that you wouldn't normally think about.
Yeah, Katie556 has nailed it. She says that Casey's breakfast pizza is really good. You damn right it is.
Yeah, you do like that. I don't know, breakfast and pizza. I just like to eat cheese pizza.
Mhm.
I'm cool with that. I don't need eggs on my pizza.
Katie556 also likes Papa Murphy's Take and Bail. I've never tried that. I've never tried a Papa.
Never
We
had
have a
that.
Papa Murphy's in town, but I've never had it. Shine of Jonah says he thinks Chicago style pizza is awful as well. Disagree. I like a good deep dish pizza.
Well, Michigan deep dish, Detroit deep dish is better than Chicago deep dish.
What's the
Chicago deep dish
difference?
is very saucy. It was like all sauce.
Well, don't they and doesn't Chicago like put sauce on top of the pie?
Yes. So you're
Right.
basically spooning sauce off of
Mhm.
your pizza. It's
Yeah.
so wasteful.
Yeah.
But the Detroit pizza, it's floofy.
Yes.
It's floofy with just the right amount of sauce and cheese. It's delicious.
Our buddy Grant here, local guy, says he likes Eris's pizza. We've eaten there once. It was okay.
Yeah, it's not really that memorable for me. I don't remember it that much.
Yeah. Eris's pizza. It's not bad. Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich is the best ever, in my opinion, says Anarcho Basis. What's up, Anarcho?
I did have Popeyes for the very first time several months ago, and I approved of it.
Yeah.
I liked don't they have those biscuits? They had some sort of
Yeah,
other
yeah.
thing
They
too.
have like the honey biscuits that I made
They
for you.
were really good.
Yes. One listener texted in and they say they agree with you, Steffi.
What?
Dairy Queen is the best with chicken.
Oh, thank you.
Their chicken tenders
Thank you.
are like top tier for sure.
Top. Better than Ruby
You know-
Tuesdays.
you
Ruby
know what would-
Tuesdays used to be my very favorite.
You know what would be a fun Friday show is if we did one of those like the YouTube videos where it's like you do a tier list of chicken tenders.
Yeah.
And we could rank chicken tenders. Would you guys like to see something like that?
Do you want to see me eat some chicken tendies?
We'll bring all the chicken tenders in and stuff and we'll like rank them. We'll do like the list of the rankings. That would honestly be kind of fun.
I think so.
One listener texted in, the Chick-fil-A did away with well done fries. So I'm in full boycott mode. Oh, dude, I didn't know that actually, because their fries was like one of the reasons to actually go to Chick-fil-A for me.
Those waffle fries.
Yeah,
which we have bought. We have some frozen waffle fries that taste pretty much the same.
Honestly, yeah. The frozen waffle fries that we get at Sam's Club that you put in the air fryer, they taste pretty much like almost exactly like the ones from Chick-fil-A. Not like 100%, but pretty damn close. So yeah, we need a Sam's Club sponsorship. Can I get an amen? We need a Sam's
Club, I love you, but Costco, I love you more.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, no Costco's right. Oh, somebody said Godfather's Pizza. Jesus, I miss Godfather's Pizza.
You thought we had one in Missouri at a gas station,
There
we
was.
went in.
No. So I think it might have even been closed. So like this is like for like mid-Missouri insiders, guys, and we'll get off this real quick. So in Lynn, Missouri, on the drive from Jefferson City to Lynn, Missouri, there is one gas station that has like, you know how like they have like those Pizza Hut, like personal pan pizzas at the gas station near our house?
I love those.
And I bring those home.
Pizza Hut pan pizzas. Yeah.
They're good. Okay, so here's the thing. Godfather's Pizza is frigging delicious. And it is so rare to find. Please rest in peace, Herman Cain.
Oh.
But there is one gas station between here, and they may have changed it. Like it might not be there anymore. But there is one of those like Godfather's pizzas between here and Lynn on the right. You know where the animal sanctuary is?
Oh, I love it when pigs fly.
When pigs fly. So it's like out in that direction and it's at the gas station. It's like so, and I think maybe like when we were out there for whatever reason, they were like, they didn't have like the pizza open or maybe they shut it down or whatever. But I used to in high school go to the Godfather's Pizza buffet. And let me just say, the pizza is good, but the dessert pizza.
Is it like chocolate pizza or is it actually with cheese and sauce?
Oh, no. It is chef's kiss. It is like this cinnamon strudel.
Oh.
It is a cinnamon strudel. The Godfather's dessert pizza is a well-run riot, you son of a bitch. He's got two Godfathers in Springfield. God, I hate you.
No, we need to go there.
We've been talking about going down there. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Grant says he loves Godfather's Pizza, and there's still some in Iowa, right? Okay. He says they might have 3 Godfathers here. Boo! Well, boo this man.
We just live in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, Will, do they have dessert pizza there at those Godfathers? Let me know, because if so, like I might, like in theory, go down there to Springfield and we'll visit a friend and we will get Godfather's Pizza, but only if they have that dessert pizza. It's a cinnamon strudel. And I remember in high school, I used to go with my best friend. We would go to it was a Godfather's buffet, all you can eat. And we would drink Mountain Dew and we would just load ourselves up with that cinnamon strudel pizza. It was so I miss it so bad. Oh, fat kid problems.
You can't be in Victoria's Secret, sorry.
No, I'll never be in Victoria's Secret. That's okay. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm still sexy.
You
still
are.
Dead
oh,
sexy.
I was just admiring you yesterday.
Yeah, I know. When I was taking off my clothes in front of you. Yeah, you were enjoying that very much, weren't you? It's our anniversary weekend.
Yes.
How are you doing?
It's getting steamy.
If you are enjoying the Wake Up America show and you're a friend of this show and me and Stephanie, do us a favor. Drop a Rumble rant today. Make a donation to the show. Help us to spread the message of economic freedom and personal liberty this weekend, though we might use it as a little anniversary gift. So, so do us a favor and support this show. Help us to spread the message. We are a 2-person business. Steffi, for those who might not know, because we got over 300 people watching us, for those who might not know kind of how the show operates and what our business is like, our business, would you give the listeners like just a brief, broad overview of kind of like who we are and how we operate?
Sure. So that's Austin Peterson. I'm Stephanie Peterson, also known as Steffi. And so we have multiple parts of this business. So it's all part of Stonegate LLC. That's
Right.
the main name of it. But we have the Wake Up America show. That's from Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. And so that's Austin's show. And he's on it every day, and I'm on it on Fridays. And then we also have a shop, ap4libertyshop.com, where we sell Liberty themed merchandise. And so I man that quite a bit in terms of adding items, in terms of advertising the items on social media. So I guess that's more so like my job. Austin fills the orders for the most part. If you have any orders that are actually packaged at our home, like the 3D printed items, Smokin' George coins, any of the keychains, I package those personally and I write you a little handwritten note using my hands. So we have that. And then the other part of the business, you do speaking engagements and you get sponsors and what other parts of the business do we have? It's just so complicated. There's just like so many layers of it.
The point of it is that, like, so the Wake Up America show is our vehicle to build our audience and build our brand. And the way that we monetize our show is through sponsorships. And if we don't have enough sponsorships, our hope is that we get enough people to buy products from the store. And
right, ap4libertyshop.com.
Like, we've got this hilarious Caucasian shirt that's like a send up of the Redskins logo, for example, that I've got pulled up on screen. We also have our own coffee, for example, and
we did that together. We designed the coffee labels ourselves.
And we write children's books.
Yes, we actually did. So we have one on Calvin Coolidge, Calvin the Coolest President. We are working on another one. It's taking us a little longer than before.
It's really difficult to get good Grover Cleveland art, so we're working on that.
Yeah,
but Calvin
and his life was a little bit more dark and complicated
and
as
it's
a
hard,
hangman.
and he was a hangman.
How do you explain that to a child?
Exactly. So I was trying to indicate that he was like a sheriff who hanged two people, but it's like, this is a children's book, so we can't. But Calvin, thankfully, his life was a little easier to explain to kids. So you can visit our website at AP for Liberty Shop and get a signed copy of Calvin the Coolest President. So basically, that's how our business operates. We try and earn money through ad revenue from the actual show itself, which is usually very little. We also ask for monthly subscribers to join the show, to do a monthly donation, of which we have several people who do that. And when they do that, then they get a 20% discount at the shop, which is nice. And they get monthly prize drawing entries.
That's right. We just did a giveaway, actually 2 giveaways the other week.
And then we have people who actually just make donations, like Rumble Rants, like Burnt Toast Space Girlfriend did.
Oh, just now?
Just now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Burnt Toast Space
You're
Girlfriend.
So sweet. She bought some of our items.
She
I
did.
remember her.
She did, yes. We appreciate that. Thank you, Katie556, for all of your support. So the idea is, it's kind of, the American dream, right? We're bootstrapping it. We're hoping that the Wake Up America show becomes so successful that we sell lots of merchandise, we bring in lots of advertisers, and we become a very successful show so that we can grow and build more media. And we're trying to push a documentary out before the election next year.
A documentary too. My goodness, the Battle of Athens documentary.
Exactly. So Bleed
American.
Bleed American, right? So we're working on that before to come out before election year next year, and then we hope to expand into actual feature films. So my idea is to build a new branch of libertarianism around this media business and basically build a libertarian Daily Wire, right? So the conservatives have their own alternative media, but it's not the same as us, right? We libertarians are built different. And if you like my brand of libertarianism and you want to help it to succeed and get off its feet, I hope that you will consider, making a donation, becoming a monthly subscriber, or buying from one of our sponsors or our merchandise shop, because that will help us to grow and to succeed. And I'd love, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, to be making epic feature films about Lysander Spooner, and I'd love to make a movie about Ludwig von Mises's flight from the Nazis in Austria, right?
Oh, wow.
These are films that I have in my mind that I'd love to tell, but I can't do it if I can't pay the bills. So help us to grow this show. When you help us grow the show, you help us to spread the ideas of economic freedom and personal liberty. So thank you to Burnt Toast Space Girlfriend. Thank you to everybody who's made a donation this morning, Studio 314 and others. We appreciate you all very much. Okay, great. Let's get back to the news because we still got a little bit of time.
Yes.
Oh, one listener texted in that says that Godfather's in Springfield, he says they do have streusel pizzas. Yes.
Oh my word.
He says it's an apple, cinnamon, and cherry. It's the cinnamon one that I remember.
Aww. Apple, cinnamon, and cherry. I like apple.
One listener texted and says,
cinnamon.
I would try the apple and the cherry, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the streusel that is, you will harden every artery you have because it's so good.
Great.
And then another listener says they've got a Godfather's pizza in their college town, making us jealous, brother, making me jelly, totes jelly. All right, the next item. So we're talking this morning about like the top fast food chains and the lowest fast food chains in every state. On a state-by-state basis, Five Guys is America's favorite burger joint.
It's weird.
And McDonald's and Burger King are tied for America's worst.
That's horrible. It's horrible. Guys, it's so greasy.
Yeah, I know, but
it's so messy.
It kind of reminds me of Duke's here in town.
Oh, yes.
But Duke's is good. Duke's is good.
Like that,
it tastes good.
Smash burger. Isn't that what they call it? A smash burger
that's
where they make the patty themselves.
Mm-hmm. But the Five Guys fries are really good. Those spicy fries, where you get a gigantic bag of them.
Super greasy. They have grease all over the bag.
I like the grease.
I know.
I like the grease. It's so freaking good.
21
big cities rate Domino's Pizza the lowest among fast food chains more than any other brand. So it's
that's pretty good. I like Domino's.
I used to eat a white pizza that Domino's made that was pretty good. It had like chicken and
I'm just
spinach.
not a huge fan of the white pizzas. I need to do red or nothing.
I like white
when
pizza.
I crave pizza, I crave red pizza with cheese.
Good white pizza that's like, what's really a really good white pizza? This isn't for you, Jew, but it's the bacon one with bacon chicken ranch. What is it called?
BLT?
No, it's like there's like a word for it. It's like the white sauce. What is the white sauce called? There's marinara, Alfredo. So it's like Alfredo sauce with like chicken and bacon. It's carbonara.
Oh,
it's called carbonara. It's a chicken carbonara with a white sauce. Oh my God, I'm getting so hungry this morning. We're gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to take you out to breakfast after this.
Let's drive right to Springfield and be there when Godfather's opens.
So since we are Missourians, we might as well talk about. Here's the top donut chain.
Okay, I was talking about donuts earlier.
Oh God, here we go. Take the mic, Stephanie.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts about donuts, but for one, I have only tried the glazed donut from Krispy Kreme. Isn't Krispy Kreme one of the popular ones?
Yes.
I didn't know that they sell other varieties of donuts. And okay, here's like a little weird tidbit about Krispy Kreme. Remember when I was in college, there was some sort of news story about a person, putting some stuff on the Krispy Kreme donuts to make it glazy. And I was like, ew, that's so gross. They put like their human, stuff on there. And so ever since then, I've always had like this aversion to Krispy Kreme. I'm like, ew, people put stuff on the donuts. I don't want to eat that. So I do like Dunkin' Donuts. But Dunkin' Donuts is always kind of stale because they always keep their donuts there throughout the day.
We have had bad Dunkin' Donuts experiences. I have been like when I lived in New York, for example, in DC, you would have like fresh Dunkin' Donuts like places, and like
fresh would be
and
good.
in the airport, typically you'll get a little. Sometimes they'll be a little fresher, but I do like Dunkin' Donuts. What I really like at Dunkin' Donuts is their crullers. The French crullers.
Oh, is that like the
squiggly ones?
Okay, yes,
that are like glazed, but they're very flaky. And like you take a French cruller and you dunk it in hot coffee. Oh,
yeah, dunking a donut in coffee. I don't know. The taste is just a little weird. I would dunk it in milk. I could do that.
Oh my God!
Like an Oreo.
I'm getting so friggin' hungry right now.
Yeah. We need to get some donuts. In Japan, they had an awesome donut shop. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. It was like huge donuts all over on the wall that you could pick from.
Japan takes their donuts seriously.
Oh, yes. There was this one great place that we went to one day for breakfast. 7-Eleven, though, in Japan is amazing.
Yes.
They have donuts, too.
7-Eleven in Japan is like the tits. It's so good. Yeah. You can get anything almost at a 7-Eleven in Japan. And they're like so advanced. Like their payment systems and stuff, with like the way that they take their money and stuff, where you don't actually have to make contact with the teller and things.
Oh, yes.
And
So beautiful.
everything is like robotic, and it's totally awesome. And their donut shops are like beautiful donuts that are fresh glazed and chocolate and everything.
Yeah.
So
That's no Krispy Kreme.
I'm literally like my stomach is like scraping. I was like, Austin, you got to end this show. We still got a little time to go. We're talking about some of the top and lowest rated fast food joints in the country. In Missouri, since we are Missourians, the top rated donut shop is Lamar's.
I've never been there.
I got to take it to a Lamar's. They're friggin' good. There's one in Kansas City. I think there's a few in Kansas City.
We're going to Godfather's.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Georgia and Alabama, it's Daylight Donuts. In Pennsylvania, their number one is Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
In South Dakota, they like Papa Murphy's Pizza. That's their number one. California, the top burgers In-N-Out. Nevada, same thing, In-N-Out. Chick-fil-A all over the country for what they like. Texas, Chick-fil-A, Louisiana, Chick-fil-A.
Because they love religious people.
It's just because they're Christians and they want to eat Jesus' chicken, and that's fine.
I mean, yes, the staff members at Chick-fil-A are very respectful.
Love them.
Very nice.
Love them,
but that's not what food is about. Food is about tasting good.
Okay, it is. Okay, here's the thing. I used to really like Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwiches, and here's the thing. I like spicy food, right? Their chicken sandwiches that are just their regular ones are too bland, and their spicy ones are not good spicy. And when I say not good spicy should be like a good flavor that is like complicated and delicious and unique.
Do you know why they don't have a good spicy?
Why?
Because white people don't know spice.
I know.
They have the wrong people making their recipes.
Okay, that's racist, first of all. This white person, no, you're not, you're a Jew.
Right.
And Nazis don't count Jews as white people.
Yes.
FYI.
Yes.
Quiet Jew. The spicy chicken filet, it's one of those spices where, listen, if I know I'm going to eat a really good spicy food, I know that I'm going to suffer for it. Okay.
And
I know,
you do.
and I know that on the other end, that like when I poo the next day, that it's going to burn and suck. Right. For example, when we go to eat Indian food, curry, right? The curry and grill here in town. The butter chicken's amazing. I get it spicy, and I know that the next day that like I'm going to be crying on the toilet, right? It's going to hurt.
Yes.
But it tastes so good that it's worth it. The problem with the Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich is that the next day your butt burns, but the spice is not a delicious spice. If I am going to like sacrifice my potty time in pain and agony, then it better be for something it better be for some like spice that is really delicious. And the Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich is just not that good. It's really just, it's red pepper. That's all it is. It's just red pepper, and they dial it up like so hot where it's like, don't turn it up so hot that like I can't actually enjoy the sandwich.
Right.
Like here's the thing. I like really, really spicy stuff. I'll eat mango habanero.
You do.
I'll eat mango habanero wings, no problem. But that's because they are so delicious, and the flavor of the habanero is so sweet and so complicated that it's fun. Blow me out the next day. But speaking of butts, but that flavor is worth it. The Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich is just like burning poo the next day, and it wasn't even worth it. So that's my opinion. I don't know. So Robbie says, put the toilet paper in the freezer now. Not a bad idea. That's hilarious.
Keep toilet paper in the freezer.
I guess, can you do that? Can you freeze your toilet paper?
That's great.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of spicy food, we went to the Vietnamese place here in town last night. It was pretty good.
You know what? I love boba tea. I love it.
Yep. Top rated fast food, lowest rated fast food. Well, I think we did it. We covered it. So we got it all.
And it's over. Oh my goodness. This is so sad. They're going to miss us so much.
Are you going to miss us? I'd be curious, because we are taking a 3-day weekend. Don't forget, we're not here on Monday. Tuesday through Thursday, though, we will be back. It's our anniversary on Monday. Yes.
What should we do? Give us ideas.
Give us ideas and drop some Rumble Rants before you go as a little anniversary gift, if you wouldn't mind. We don't mind asking. We do work very hard to bring you an awesome show, so we love it if you wouldn't mind just dropping a donation in the tip jar to say thank you. We appreciate that. Or visit apforlibertyshop.com. All right. Anything else, Stephanie, you want to say before we go? Any other topics or points that we missed?
We were going to talk about estranged family members. That's
Didn't have time.
Kind of depressing.
Didn't have time.
Oh, and we were going to talk about a lack of friends.
Didn't have time.
Right.
What else did we have in there we didn't have time for? Generation Z's friendship, girl revenge. Oh, micro cheating.
Oh, micro cheating. So, okay, don't cheat on your spouse this weekend.
Well, we don't
Try
even,
to make friends.
We're talking about the things that were all the different types of micro cheating. So
yes,
we didn't have time to get into the micro cheating conversation. So
no.
Maybe next
it said
Friday.
Having a crush on a girl is micro cheating. I just remember that, or having a crush on anybody is micro cheating. I'm like, okay, fantasy is not cheating. Okay, so that's just my 2 cents here.
Yeah.
But anyway, so in terms of my advice for you, be free.
Okay, there you go. Be free. Thanks so much for tuning in the show. Don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'd love to see you back here on Tuesday. We are here every Monday through Friday typically, but it's our anniversary on Monday, so we'll see you then. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later.
Bye.
In the vast expanse of time, a year might seem like a mere moment, but oh, what a year it's been. In September 2022, Austin and Stephanie Peterson embarked on a journey to wake up America. They began humbly, with just 20 souls tuning in, learning, listening, and though challenges arose, like the looming shadow of YouTube demonetization, their spirit never waned. And now, thanks to you, thousands rise with the sun to join them, to listen, to engage, to be a part of a community. So here's to you, and to wake up America. For memories shared, for friends made, for the journey ahead, and for never, ever forgetting to rise and freedom. Happy anniversary.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message. Believe me, Austin Peterson is the best. He's got the greatest Wake Up America show I've ever seen. Whenever I tune in the mornings and watch the live stream, let me tell you, he has got the absolute best content. I love his guests. It's just a total blast to watch, and I highly endorse and recommend the Wake Up America show. It's terrific, believe me.
Halloween is coming. The festival of Samhain approaches, and your lazy butt doesn't have a Halloween costume yet? How can you pledge allegiance to the Dark Lord this year and possibly offend everyone at the same time? Visit the AP for Liberty shop and get your shirt today. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. So grab your government is scary tee and tell everyone at the party that you're here to help. Other great seasonal items are available as well, so don't miss out. Then visit AP for Liberty shop today. That's apforlibertyshop.com.
I'm a public defender.
I am a public defender.
I'm proud to be a public defender.
80% of Americans accused of a crime will get appointed a public defender.
Everybody from a speeding ticket to capital murder.
For every dollar we spend on public defenders, we spend $3 on prosecutors.
Public defenders have to do pretty much everything on their own.
Social workers, counselors.
Investigating is another piece of it.
The average public defender holds 300 cases annually.
You never feel like there's enough time.
Public defenders have health issues all the time.
A lot of people give up and say, I can't do this work anymore.
Gideon's Promise trains, mentors, and supports public defenders.
There are a lot of people who say that they would not still be public defenders, but for Gideon's Promise.
It's fueled me to continue on in this fight.
Gideon's Promise has changed the face of public defense.
People see us as troublemakers.
Good trouble only.
We don't make it easy. It should not be easy to take away someone's liberty.
Tired of spending your hard-earned money on woke corporations that don't share your pro-freedom values? Fed up with sipping liberal lattes and progressive cappuccinos? Introducing Founding Flavors from AP for Liberty Shop. Get your day started with Washington's revolutionary roast. As robust and principled as the man himself, this blend is the shot of energy heard round the world. Or maybe you want to taste the fervor of freedom with Adams's patriotic perk. It's as dynamic and balanced as the U.S. Constitution, sure to awaken your spirit of liberty. For the aficionados, we've got the Jeffersonian Java, a complex mix of flavors that speaks volumes about your refined tastes. And don't forget Betsy's Liberty Lullaby, our decaf option, crafted with the same care and dedication Betsy Ross put into our Star-Spangled Banner. This blend lets you enjoy the taste of freedom anytime without losing sleep. No woke beans here, folks, just pure patriotic pro-freedom flavors brewed with love for liberty. So why compromise your principles for a cup of coffee? Stand up for your values, perk up your patriotism, and start your day the American way. Get your Founding Flavors at apforlibertyshop.com.